Let's get right into it. Y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Welcome to the Sports Panel. I am your host, Swill. For those watching live, what's good? How y'all doing? If one of you guys could check on the YouTube live and then another check on the Instagram, just to make sure that that's working or whatever, make sure it looks good. As always, follow us on all the socials, all the places, all the things, and this will also be available on Spotify, all those good places too, Apple Music and whatnot. Like, share, subscribe. We'll get right into it. I know we want to start with the Angel Reese stuff and the Caitlin Clark stuff, but as of right now, the Knicks are playing the Pacers. The game is on live right now. So, how y'all think that shit gonna go?
Well, let's address the elephant in the room.
Wait, what's the elephant?
I mean, you see it.
I see it.
You see it.
I see
You
it.
see it. Hey, man, I'm here to summon the spirits. But let me start with this.
We look good on live.
Let me start with
on
this.
YouTube.
You got to know where I'm from to understand where I'm going. You know, I was born in Chicago, so by any means am I saying that I'm a Knicks fan.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm Chicago through and through. The tattoos to prove it. In my blood. The Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs, Chicago in my blood. I like the New Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the only Indiana team I like. So this is where I'm going with this. Indiana fans didn't know they had a basketball team 3 weeks ago. They thought the NBA team name was the Fever.
They was in the final.
The Fever.
They
They don't. 75% of these fans didn't know that. For one, for
you
two,
say Indiana fans or just
the
Northwest Indiana fans?
Pacer fans. No, I'm not talking
get
about
outta here,
us
man.
because we Bulls fans.
That's because
Up
they
here.
ain't never won an NBA championship.
I don't want to hear none of that. Half
I'm
these
gonna
people yelling
get it
about the
off.
Pacers. I'd be at the restaurant. Can you put the Indiana game on? And they be
Indiana
like,
who?
what? The Fever? They like, yes, the Fever. During the Pacers game,
Damn.
they trying to watch the Fever and the Pacers in the playoffs. I don't want to hear none of that. So this is what I want. I'm from Chicago. I don't want to hear all these fake ass Indiana fans rooting, talking about how when the last time the Bulls won. They don't know shit about the game. So I came to summon the spirits of John Starks.
Not the grocery store clerk.
I'm coming to summon the spirits of Kiki Vanderway, Xavier McDaniel,
Is that gonna help? Cause they ain't win shit.
Charles Oakley. Let me get through my soliloquy. This is for Hove.
Don't forget Spike Lee.
I ain't doing that, Spike. I ain't doing it for Spike.
Are you doing it for Tracy Morgan throwing up ass?
I'm doing it for Tracy Morgan's stomach.
Is you doing that for the X-Men?
I'm doing it for DMX.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
And Xavier
This is for
McDaniels.
Nasty Nas,
In Indiana.
The nasty.
Jada Kiss,
Fat
The Locks.
You trying to get invited
Hey,
to the
50
garden?
Cent.
What my man
Oh,
Packifee said at the
hey, show
what he
Pee Wee
did?
Pee Wee
when
Kirkland some
Packifee got on
love.
the microphone.
The
This
ruckus.
is for the spirits of Derek Harper.
He done took the jacket off looking like Mitchell Robinson over there.
Kenny Skywalker.
Get Mitchell
That's
Robinson
hate.
over there. You
That's
supposed to be
hate.
out there playing.
Hold
That's
on.
hate.
Hold on.
That's hate.
What'd you say,
You
Huncho?
ain't see what Packifee did at? Is that his name, McAfee?
Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
Is it
Yeah.
at the game?
McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pack
is-
they
Oh,
pack
no,
him
no,
up.
no, no. I
They
seen him. I
pack
seen
him
him.
up.
They said pack up.
What did he do?
Yeah, he
When
was
he got on the microphone.
He got on the microphone live at the game
At the
and,
game.
and like as a live MC, and he
Yeah.
was like
Pack these
he
sons
called
of
out
bitches up, send them. Yeah, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. It was
Ben Stiller
Ben
or
Stiller and Charlamagne Shimala.
They should ban him from the
Charlamagne the
station.
God.
No, they
Charlamagne the
shouldn't.
God.
No, not
Indiana need
Charlamagne.
that
Timothy
You
Chalamet.
can't do that
Timothy
in a
Chalamet.
basketball
Timothy
stadium.
Come on, bro. You do it. Hey,
First of all,
wrestling being basketball.
he did
stadium.
that. He was sitting next to
that's
Triple
how
H.
Pat McAfee
Yeah.
is.
That's how he is.
Yeah, that's how he is.
Wrestling.
They know
If
his
you seen
character.
this
His
show,
character- his
and when
character is
he's
already that.
and when he's like broadcasting on WWE,
Yeah.
anytime
MCing.
you see Jay Uso get up there, he be standing on the
dancing with
table,
him.
yeeting and everything.
Yeah.
That's gay.
But to go back to like
I don't know what
Indiana,
yeeting is.
go back to the Indiana thing. If you want to be honest, Indiana probably been the most consistent team in the Eastern Conference. To be honest,
In the playoffs.
yeah. Listen, Indiana in the '90s, we went through the Reggie Miller. They was a great team. The late '90s, Reggie Miller team again. They went to the final. I mean, they went to the finals. In
That
the
was
mid-90s
early
against-
2000.
Did Jermaine O'Neal?
Yeah, early
era.
2000.
Yeah.
Jermaine. Then we had the
So what do you mean by
Yeah,
the
the Danny-
90s?
they
They
had
didn't
the
do
Danny
anything in
Rangers.
the 90s.
the fighting
Oh.
team, the team that
Oh,
the
you
Brawl-
talking about
that was
the
a good
brawl
team.
at the Palace?
Yeah, bro, that was a good team.
That was
That was
2001.
a Reggie Miller team too.
That was a good team. And then you had the Paul George era. That
They
was a
didn't do
good
nothing
team.
either.
But I'm just saying, they've been the most consistent team in the Eastern Conference. They always go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Damn near every few, they had errors. They've been the most consistent team in the Eastern Conference.
How you know they ain't never won.
They ain't
right?
never won, though. But I'm just saying, they've been the most consistent team. They've been a winning team. Just say they've been winning damn near fucking 30 years.
The thing is, they just never won.
They just never
got
won.
on
But they've been the
because of
most,
Jordan and
probably
because
the
of
most winning
LeBron.
team in the Eastern Conference. Like,
Jordan and
even
Bron.
the Oladipo era, they were still good. They were still going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make it
And
to
now
the
they
Hey,
back-
playoffs.
now they-
the
now in the-
Oladipo era, they took Bron and the Cavs to 7 games.
7
Yeah,
games,
they did.
yeah.
In the first round.
Yeah.
But I also went to that game with Bron and at Indiana, and it was $10.
What that got to do with them still winning?
Damn.
though?
It was
Miami
$10.
been more consistent
I
than
paid
them.
$10
Where
to
you was
see
sitting
Bron. It was in the middle.
Miami been way more
No, because
consistent than Indiana.
it's like that. That's why I go to Indiana games versus
Yeah,
Bulls
you
games
know what I'm saying?
because
It's
I
cheap
can
as
sit.
hell.
I can sit fucking third row for fucking $200.
But just to let you
at
know,
a Lakers game in Indiana.
just to let you know, you was wrong. You said one of. I'll give you that because Miami been more consistent,
Yeah, they've been winning, but
but they've been more consistent. They had a
Yeah.
whole 90s
I'm gonna say they've been consistent
and
because they won.
2000s.
But Miami had years they didn't make the playoffs,
Indiana
they been-
did too.
and they've been in the play-in the last few years. Indiana been
That's,
consistent
that's recent.
since
But
the
I'm talking
mid
about
'90s.
the mid 90s.
I just went.
Miami
through the eras.
was
I go
good
through the
too.
eras then.
The Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway era,
All right.
the Glenn Rice era, the Dwayne Wade Shaq era, the Dwayne Wade LeBron era, the
But
Jimmy
you-
Butler era.
All those eras is 1 or 2 years.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Boston has been the most consistent.
And Boston.
Nah,
Boston has been the most
Before,
consistent.
before the Big Three came in Boston, they was trash.
Nah.
Yes, they was. The year
Nah.
before then, they had the worst record in the Eastern Conference.
That was
probably.
1 year.
But you
That was
forget
like 2
you
years.
forgetting about the Isaiah Thomas and
Oh yeah, Isaiah
Eddie,
Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas came after that.
When they-
Big
when
Three.
they got-
But I'm
when they
telling
got
y'all,
Stevenson-
before that Big Three, Garnett and them, they was trash. Boston was trash before
Nah,
the Big
bro.
Three.
Antoine Walker and then was Antoine Walker and
Antoine
Paul
Walker and
Pierce
Paul
was
Pierce.
making the playoffs every year.
but before that Big Three, Boston had like one of the worst records in the league.
Probably 1 year or something.
Probably about 2
I'm
years.
talking about
had bad
consistently. Boston
wanna-
has been in the playoffs.
He
wanna say
gave
late
me Miami.
90s.
I got
Miami's
Miami
a
with
good one.
Miami.
You want to
Miami
say
probably because they got 3 titles out of
yeah, but you also
Nah,
want to
but
say late
Boston-
'90s because Antoine Walker came in '96, and I think
and
right
they were
around,
probably trash around that time.
Yeah, I'm saying then right around
made
'98.
the
That's when they
playoffs.
they
probably
drafted
didn't.
Paul Pierce, but that's when they had Rick Pitino as their fucking coach.
Yeah,
They
that
make no
1 year
playoffs.
they
They
did.
made no
That 1
playoffs.
year they had Rick Pitino.
Yeah,
I remember
and,
that.
and they let his ass go the following
but
year. Yeah,
right after that, they got Doc Rivers, and then he made the playoffs. But with Antoine Walker, they had McCarthy.
They got
had
2
some hoopers
titles
over there.
since the.
Yeah,
listen,
the Pacers don't have any titles.
Yeah, they
though.
don't have any titles.
he was just
Ever.
saying winning.
I
Just
said winning overall.
Yeah,
they've
but
been the
Boston has won
of the most
way
consistent
more
teams.
than Indiana.
If you want to throw titles in there,
Without take out the
obviously-
titles, take out the titles.
No, not
Yeah.
since the '90s. What you
Yes.
what you think? Be honest.
Yes.
Since the '90s, I just gave you a year where they probably was the worst team in the East.
Ever since they got Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, they has at least been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I put
What? Jason Tatum been in the
Well, you know what?
Eastern Conference Finals probably 6 times.
Hey.
Only been in the league about 7 years.
Right, but
That's
since
what I
you
said.
said
That's what he
that-
just said.
Yeah.
I thought you said the least, man.
But
No, that's what I said. So that's
like-
that's 6 Eastern Conference Finals that Indiana don't have in the '90s or the 2000s combined.
bro, yes, they have the Paul George.
They ain't make it to the Eastern Conference
Paul
Finals.
George and them did go to the Eastern Conference Finals 1 year.
The Bulls beat them
against Miami.
Yeah,
And that
And
was in the
lost.
finals. Eastern Conference
they
Finals.
didn't
They
win.
won
two-
Game 7.
They didn't win back to
Okay,
back.
so they probably
right
got
now.
about 2 or 3 Eastern Conference Finals.
Nah, you
Yeah.
think overall the
Yeah.
Pacers only got 2 or 3? You
Yeah.
think- we just said
Yeah.
3 right now.
That's
they just
all
went
then.
back to back years. Paul George, Reggie Miller, and them went to the finals.
When they go back to
Reggie,
okay, that's this
Uh,
current.
Jermaine O'Neal, did they go to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Jermaine
Wasn't the Jermaine
O'Neal.
O'Neal team?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
They didn't.
No,
No. That's when they had Jermaine O'Neal.
they was
had,
trying to get past Detroit.
They had
the
Steve,
year that they were supposed to go.
They had Steve
That's
and
when
Johnson
the
on the
Palace-
squad
The
too.
Malice and the
That's when the
Palace.
fight
When he
happened.
blocked, no, they did. Remember, that's
Tayshaun Prince blocked
blocked that
Reggie
shot.
Miller's
That
layup.
was to go to the finals.
Nah, that was the Eastern
That
Conference
was East Conference
semifinals.
Finals. Yeah,
It was Eastern Conference Finals or
Yeah.
semifinals.
it was like the semis. I
Semis.
remember that game. Yeah,
So who they play in the finals? Because they went to
Indiana?
Detroit went to the finals twice.
Oh,
One year-
they played San Antonio. They lost to them, and then the year before that they
No, I
played.
know
the
they
Lakers.
played in the finals. I'm saying who they played in the Eastern Conference Finals both years.
Damn.
Was it New Jersey?
The Nets, maybe.
Probably had.
Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was New Jersey.
because it was somebody they couldn't get over the hump. That I know.
Yeah,
But
so the Celtics, man, the Pacers is a decent squad. So
They been-
I'm not
they
gonna
been-
hate
they
on the
been
Pacers
consistent in the
because the
Eastern
Pacers.
Conference.
I do want the Pacers to beat the Knicks. You know what I'm
me too.
saying? And I think the Pacers have a style that Indiana kind of have. You know what I'm saying? Pressure you the whole time and shoot a lot of shots.
But
you know
the
what I'm saying?
thing I got is that we like with Indiana, we don't have any identity. We in Northwest Indiana, we know because we Bulls fans. Everything is Chicago here. Yeah. So our identity is Chicago. But then, but when New York, but if Indiana is in the finals, they could just go for Indiana. No. Like why are we
right? Why is it even
New York
a question?
fans? New York fans is out there throwing trash on Indiana
like
fans.
Dude coming in here with this John Stock jersey on is just ridiculous. And you from Gary, Indiana?
Yeah,
you ain't from
just
New
go for
York,
Indiana.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Ain't no New York fan going for Indiana. You see how they acting in the
right?
streets?
You trying to pull up stats, trying to
New Yorkers,
throw shade at Indiana, but it ain't happening.
New Yorkers ain't voting.
I got
ain't
all
going
their
for shit
playoff
else.
history for the last 30 years on my phone right now.
They
went to 3 Eastern Conference Finals in a row in the late 90s. 98, 99, and 2000. In 2000, they went to the actual finals and lost to the Lakers. So that alone, they went to 3 Eastern Conference Finals there. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2004. They lost. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals next in 2013 and 14, back-to-back. Then they went to the Eastern Conference Finals again 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Last year.
Who they have in 13 and 14? They didn't have Paul George.
Paul
yet.
George. That was Paul.
That's Paul George.
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
That was Paul George.
Roy
Hibbert.
Wes.
It feels like that was earlier. in the
Danny
2010s.
Granger.
Tinsley.
That feels like it was earlier in the 2010s, but I get it.
And then I remember that I think that next year they had got Jeff Teague.
That tracks.
Yeah, I mean, but nobody talks about going and losing.
Right? Why are we talking about the losers?
Right, we talking about the damn losing.
I was just saying,
None of these teams have really won anything.
That's
why we should be
He was saying because I was talking about the fake Indiana fans.
Man, dude.
Yeah, I was just, saying that.
He said people really care about them, but I think they care about the fever more.
Nah, they do.
They do.
They do.
And I'm
not right now.
That's why I like the Pacers because of the fever.
Old girl out.
They lost. They've lost. Fever lost 2 straight without Caitlin.
She been out for she's gonna be out for the next 2 weeks. They said.
So let's
Damn,
not
she's
talk
good.
about her.
Damn, she's good.
Dude, don't start with that shit, bro.
But she's.
I
good,
respect
bro.
it.
She's
I
good.
respect
That's a good segue.
I respect it, but
she's good.
don't, boy.
That's why you're the hostess with the mostest.
I'm just
Look
saying.
at that segue.
Look, I respect her game.
I wanna know why
Hell
they-
of a respect her game. What I'm saying is, it's a narrative why y'all pushing her to make her the first of the league. Do you know, motherfucking, what the shit age?
Because she-
No.
Because she got all the money.
Maybe.
Because she's white. Come
Yeah.
on,
Well,
man.
she shouldn't. You gotta move your mic a little closer.
Elephant
to
in the room. She's white.
She shouldn't be heralded as the best player in the league, but out of that class,
She's
out of
probably
that
the most
class,
important.
She's.
Her style of play is more
It's so
sexier
different.
than
You don't see
people-
that. You don't see that on other teams.
People give Andrew Reese
Sabrina Ionescu
slack.
plays
Like
just like
nobody
that.
like Andrew Reese,
Thank you.
but I mean it's because Andrew
Sabrina
Reese game ain't sexy, but Andrew Reese do her thing.
Man,
You know how
dude.
people on your
Like-
team, you have like a rookie on your team that he's supposed to carry your bags and all that shit.
Yeah.
I feel like players on other teams should carry Caitlin Clark's bags.
Yeah.
Before every game, they should make sure she all right. Make sure she got coffee or whatever.
But
she wants.
And that's the
Water.
type of and that's the
No,
type of
no,
and
no,
that's the
Because
type
she
of
brought
energy.
all this fucking money.
So
they got to
what?
put games.
They're gonna make
all these games on primetime
She
TV.
probably- listen,
The
They moving
WNBA.
all the games to the NBA stadiums
Did y'all hear
because
what
of her.
Brittany Griner said?
I don't. That
No,
dude.
what did
fuck
Brittany
that dude.
She said now fans are coming to the game actually looking at us paying attention and she's feeling uncomfortable with all the people in the stands. She used to people coming in and fans are on their laptops and stuff.
So she uncomfortable with the
She's
attention?
uncomfortable with people. Now they're actually
know why.
judging and
Well,
critiquing her
Should be
game.
happy as hell.
When she go for her
Because of all
salary to
the
go
attention.
up and all the more money that they getting to pay her ass, they should be like.
But they not
But
really
it's
getting
like-
any more money.
But it like
Well,
Like Sabrina done been killing. Asia Wilson been killing. We've been seeing killers inside the WNBA. The only difference is this is like the LeBron effect. LeBron James haven't been the best player in the NBA for how long? But his marketing plan, people thinks he's the best player of the NBA. Just because of the marketing plan.
That
Because
I can agree
ESPN
with
talk
you.
about him so
they
much.
marketing the shit out of her.
So it's just a marketing thing. And the marketing thing gonna make you love or hate her. Yeah. That's all that is. So with like LeBron James, ESPN talk about him all day, bro. That don't mean but to somebody that think, oh, he's the face of the league. He not the on court face of the league. He's just the face of the league because ESPN can't get his dick out their mouth. That's a fact. So it's the same thing with her. That's why I said last week, like,
so it has nothing to do with her pulling up from the logo.
Man, we
triple doubles.
I mean,
she don't ball out.
Yeah, she ball out.
What I'm saying, hold on. She's being allowed to ball out because before, when everybody was playing hard on her, she wasn't doing anything.
After that All-Star break,
but when the media attacked the players, what do you have against Caitlin Clark? Yeah. Oh, now they all backed off. Now she's putting up these numbers.
All-Star break,
let's not forget about that.
That was a little funny after the All-Star break last year.
Right. Let's not forget about that. Let's not act like she was doing her thing when she first got in the league.
So you talking about a rookie?
Playing her normal.
So you saying you're critiquing a rookie?
I'm going to read you some stats, right? Listen. The WNBA will make $1 billion this year.
But that's okay.
Overall merchandise sales by Fanatics grew since Caitlin Clark's been in the league. It's grown by 500%. Overall sales of merchandise from Dick's Sporting Goods has grown to 233%. Fever's net value went from $90 million to $340 million. Average price of games jumped by 140% if Fever play on the road. No other teams, just a Fever.
Good.
Overall,
like
WNBA attendance has grown by 50%.
Thank you.
The WNBA signed an 11-year TV deal worth $2.2 billion and prompted league expansion to 15 teams by 2028. So it's not coincidence. It's not a coincidence.
I mean,
it's not. But I got one question.
But it also doesn't make her the best player.
That's amazing. But one question for you: how much is the highest paid player in the WNBA?
I have no clue.
Look that up real quick.
Yeah.
That'll change.
Y'all heard all those billions of dollars?
Yeah, that'll change.
Yeah. How much is the highest paid player?
They got to go back to the drawing boards.
They're not going to restructure.
It's Kelsey Mitchell from the Indiana Fever, and she makes $249,000 a year.
What are we talking about?
What we're talking about is the money that's coming to the league. So here's the thing: you can't grow the league. You can't give everybody a new contract overnight.
You know what I'm saying? They got on their contract already.
But what I'm saying is she is the most.
Caitlin Clark's net worth.
She worth like $5 million, right?
Look up her net worth.
That's gonna change.
That's off the court though. From her endorsement deals.
Based on it's $5 million as of 2025.
That's gonna go up
because that's off her endorsement deals.
So who's benefiting from that?
Caitlin Clark.
Well, she's benefiting from her personal endorsements. But
who's benefiting from
the league? The league is.
How much is the highest paid player in the league?
Well, that just because
$200,000.
That doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. It does matter.
It does matter. You would have to look at that 5 years from now. Because if
the
money
league
isn't
was
made
benefiting from it, it would be a new collective bargaining agreement, and everybody would be getting a cut.
They're getting a new collective bargaining agreement
next year.
Hold on. You have to wait. How much the minimum player getting paid in a 3-on-3?
But that's a new league that's just established. It's irrelevant. That's a new league that's just established. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
That's the minimum.
I agree that they should be making more.
The WNBA is using these players, and they've been using them all these years, ain't paying them nothing. And now that Caitlin Clark is coming, and they want to act like Caitlin Clark is now opening the gates and the fan to everything that they've already had. But they're not giving anybody a piece of it.
Not yet, because they don't have it to give.
They've always had it to give.
Okay,
look at the salaries that they're giving these girls.
The U.S. still made a lot more money a couple years ago. A lot of money. They didn't start paying us more money because they made more money. People had to wait till they had to go back to contracts to get more money based off the profits that the mill made. Then they had this say this new pig.
Totally different in the entertainment.
It's still contracts. Money is a business.
Yeah,
well, totally different in entertainment.
They have salary caps and all types of things that they have to abide by. Just because
you just ran off all those numbers,
the numbers only reflect.
Those numbers don't tell you.
They only reflect impact.
Nobody's benefiting from those numbers right now.
It don't tell you
except Caitlin Clark and the owners.
It don't tell
and that's okay.
It don't tell you.
That ain't fair.
And the players
it don't tell you what happened. It don't tell you what happened since '97. So they might be under some type of contract that was like old. So just because Caitlin Clark came in and went crazy 4 years ago before Caitlin Clark, it probably was at as high as it been.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't paid
here's
them.
the thing.
They ain't paid them then. When nobody bragging on
It's-
the league doing good.
It's fair because
They wasn't doing that.
It's fair because they have a players association, and their players association is responsible for negotiating those contracts,
Right.
and the players are involved in that players association. So it's up to the players association to say, hey, now that we have all this money coming in, because you can't do it until you have the floor to be able to speak. Now that we have the money coming in, let's reallocate how much we can get.
This
Let's
what I wanna
change
know.
the salary cap. Let's do those things.
But
But the money
you can't-
always,
you can't
the
just
money-
do that right away.
They've been doing better since the league started. It's a marketing plan for Caitlin Clark to make her be as big as they need her to be. That's why
And
they're saying that
I'm
the
okay.
league is doing great.
I'm okay
And
with
the
her being
league
a
been
face of
doing
the
great
league.
every
The
year.
stadiums were
They-
half full still.
These white owners didn't feel like they wanted to invest in anything. Now they feel like we got a white star. We can.
It didn't
she's
start in
promote
it didn't
the
start
game.
in professional
They
ball.
didn't
though.
want to have nobody as the face of the league. Now they want to have somebody
It
as
didn't
the
start.
face of the
It
league.
didn't start in professional ball though. It started
think
when
it's
she was
because
in
she's white,
college.
Yeah, it started when she's in college, but what
What you mean it started when she?
what-
Yeah,
what's
because
the one
Angel
thing
Reese-
that she's
'cause
doing
Angel
right
Reese
now?
started
And she
talking
didn't
Big
even
Willie.
win anything.
Look,
That's what I'm saying.
I understand she's giving assists and all this and that, but the one thing I see that she's doing, she's bringing that element far as like the way Steph Curry was doing all this
Yeah,
shooting.
yeah.
And that to me, that shit is boring as hell, bro.
That ain't
It's not
boring.
boring.
It
to people that
might
watch
be.
it.
It might
It's
be.
putting people in
But the
seats.
numbers speak for themselves.
That's not boring.
Hey,
It's
but
putting people in
numbers
seats.
speak for
so here's the
think-
thing, though.
you don't think they
you don't
manipulating the
want
numbers or
Asia
something-
Wilson,
somewhat?
who got a shoe deal, who is sitting here constantly balling
Her shoe sold
every
out,
damn
too.
night. You can't make her the fucking first of the league. But here's
Don't
here's
she got a statue?
No.
That's in South
But here's
Carolina.
one put you on.
Don't she got a
Hey, no.
statue?
But
That
here's
ain't
one
in
put you
WNBA,
on
that's in
game
South
right now.
Carolina.
Check this out. In 2 years, that Caitlin Clark shit is finna be fizzled out because Juju Watkins is finna come in the fucking league and shut that shit on fucking
I'm
fire,
okay with
bro.
that
What
too.
they saying, Juju
I said that
Watson's
last week.
She's still black. So
I'm okay with that
Yeah,
too.
but that-
I'm okay
And-
with either way. But the
Nah,
thing is, as long as the
all
game
these fans
grows.
that Caitlin Clark got, these white fans, they ain't
That's
about
what I'm
to- they
saying.
ain't about to move out the way.
White fans.
What are you talking about?
We ain't talking about black fans.
Man, dude,
She don't have a lot of
when
black
Popeye,
fans.
When Popeye said that chicken sandwich, that shit went crazy
But the thing is,
because
though,
they marketed that motherfucker, and people was in line for fucking days waiting on that dumbass chicken
but I
sandwich.
don't think it's a
That's all
problem.
this shit is.
I asked a fan, a Caitlin Clark fan. I was like, "What do you like about Caitlin Clark?" They was like, "Oh, she's amazing. She just brings the game to such a point that makes everybody want to watch." I was
Right.
like, "Okay, how many games did you watch before Caitlin Clark?" "Oh, I never watched it before." I'm like, "So how do you know Caitlin Clark is better than everybody else if you ain't never watched the game? You just watched it when she came." I'm like, "So what made you watch the game?" "Oh, everybody said Caitlin Clark's the best."
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So all of that, that's what makes people draw to it. It don't have anything to do with basketball. Because
Right.
these people, most Caitlin Clark fans, never watched basketball.
Right.
Never
That's
watched
true.
WNBA.
Yeah,
they
just
don't
market.
even know
They
any
just-
of these players.
It's just a trending thing that all Americans do, bro. They
But,
follow
right.
the
but
trend,
if it's
bro.
if it's good for the
all
sport,
they
then
do.
fuck it.
And
Because, and she's
I'm
also balling.
if I'm a part of the sport, and now we got packed stadiums
Yeah.
and more eyes on me, I'm thankful for it.
but
But
give her
no,
credit,
but
though.
this is the
I ain't-
era. This is the
I'm not
era
giving-
that
I'm
we
not-
in though, because soon as
I can't knock
soon
the
as
marketing plan.
you have a
She's the
situation
chosen.
with the Angel Reese thing, they want to make it a race thing now because
Yeah.
those fans are not there
When
for
it's strictly
basketball.
about basketball.
So now
Yeah.
they want to start
They done
calling
really
out
done
racial
hate-
slurs
Yeah.
and things like that. So they're taking it to a whole nother level. So
That
now
I
you
don't
have
agree with.
15,000 people in the fans that used to be not paying attention. Now they're paying attention because it's a black and a white thing.
Because white people are racist.
Yeah, it's just
Because
So
not only
I'm just saying she's bringing that to the game.
But she don't have that to do with that.
She ain't got nothing to
not
do
her
with it.
fault. Not
Now, the
her
only thing
fault.
I
But
can't
you
agree
can't.
on
We
that.
can't. We can't just say that.
Right.
Ignore that. That's not happening.
No, it does happen,
that's not her
and
fault.
it's unfortunate. But the truth of the matter is that the league is growing because
Yeah,
of
it
her,
is.
and she's bringing in a lot of money, and it's good for everybody.
Yeah, because you got, like I said, next year you should have Portland and Toronto. And then they talking about getting another team in Nashville, and they want to name the Summit at the Pat Summit.
Right.
Peyton Manning and I want to say Candace Parker is doing what they can to try to get another team right there in Nashville.
There's teams popping up all over.
And then not only top of that, with Caitlin Clark doing all this and that, like Aaliyah Boston was the first round draft pick before her the year before. You don't talk much about Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston got a national championship.
She's player
And
of the year
before
too, right?
before Caitlin Clark really took that leap like that, the best player in the women's game in college at the time was Paige Beckers, but
She
then
was hurt.
she kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
So imagine if she didn't get hurt.
No, I
there now?
get that, and I'm with you.
They missed their spot, bro. You can't be mad.
Here's
She
the
the
No, I
one.
chosen
ain't
one,
mad.
bro. She the chosen one.
Here's
I ain't mad.
here's the
I'm just
thing
saying,
that
though,
I
That's
don't.
what I said, Angel Reese. That's what I said last
You're
week.
marketing her more so
Because
than one other
she
player.
the cash cow. The NBA market the shit out of LeBron James.
It was like
he's
that
a cash
with,
cow.
Here's a-
Ionescu before she got hurt too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I don't agree with though. I don't think that Angel Reese is the same tier of player as Caitlin Clark.
They two
But
different
really
players.
that's-
though.
that's the
that really
thing.
don't
They two-
even
what you
matter.
mean?
And this is a transition because
Listen, people be hating on Angel Reese because she not dribbling between her legs, doing step back, shooting threes. She's a fucking rebound, like what she is,
Dominant
what she
rebound.
is. She
Bro,
dominated
hey,
at her
brother,
position.
she be throwing the ball up there.
Man, she be making
ISO real quick.
shots so
ISO
fucking
real
what?
quick. Let me. Okay. There's a
Nigga, Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer, bro.
There's a current bet that's out right now. That's on a 5-day streak.
But
That's on a 5-game streak for her to miss her first shot.
So fucking
She
what?
all-
Ain't nobody. Is they gonna bet that she gonna get a double double?
50%.
That ain't no bet.
50%.
But that's what I'm
50%
saying.
of
Like,
her
why
rebounds.
is those even out? Nobody's
So what?
looking at every little thing that Caitlin Clark's
Because-
doing
Nah,
and bringing
that's
up
the- and then
percentages.
if you look at- if you go and look at the
because of the style of play.
But
Because of
I
half
said- that's
because
why I just said it's not
she
sexy.
can't. It's not only is not sexy.
but
It's
you
just
can't,
not great.
You can't
It is.
win a
What you mean
game
it's
without
not great?
it.
She the fastest player to get 500 rebounds, 500.
You can't win a game
points.
without it.
Because you're hitting the
In
bottom of the
WNBA
rim.
In WNBA,
You're hitting the bottom of the
WNBA been
rim.
around for 40 years.
Because she's just throwing the ball up and catching it herself.
Wait a minute.
You can't.
Hey,
She missed
Remember
a
that
shot.
video?
Hey, wait,
Bro,
wait. Hey, hold
stop,
on. Time
bro.
out. Wait. Hey, Jay, you remember last year you said, who was it? Brianna Stewart missed that fucking layup. You was like, how the hell they missed the fucking layups out of his mouth? So hey, he got a point with that. Right there.
And this is what he was saying. People ain't been watching the WNBA. Women, they always missing fucking layups.
No, listen.
They better shooters than they are around the rim.
Half of her rebounds are
Hey,
offensive
but
rebounds
go back
off
and
her
look-
misses.
go back and
Let
look
me
at the
ask you
game.
this.
Go look at the
So
WNBA
You said
game.
they got two different style of plays, right?
Right.
So what you should be doing is comparing Caitlin Clark's 3-point percentage to Angel Reese's field goal percentage.
Angel Reese has a
No, she got
33% field goal
yeah, her
percentage.
shit.
So what's Caitlin Clark's 3-point percentage? Those are the percentages that you should be trying to compare.
I mean, I'm trying to figure it
But
out.
the thing is,
because-
man, forget about that. What it is like, for instance, with the whole Ryan Clark RG3 situation and Jason, you know what I'm saying? How do you create a narrative based on somebody's reaction to a foul? Anybody who gets flagrantly fouled, knocked on their ass, they're gonna come up and look at the player, even if
Yeah.
they're not gonna even do nothing. Nobody fights anymore.
Yeah.
You got a whole
they
guy
don't.
talking about you got your career saved because she was gonna fire on her or punch her in the face. Nobody ever punched nobody in the face in the WNBA.
Nah, they ain't gonna fight.
And then,
No.
for instance, Ryan RG3, when somebody come back at you with the narrative or their own of why you want to actually have that response, you want to come and go all bitch mode and say, "Oh, you didn't have to talk about my wife and kids," when nobody even talking
He
about
didn't
your
even
damn
talk
wife
about them.
and kids. Like, who does that? That was the most bitch move I ever seen.
he didn't talk about it.
That was the softest shit I ever seen out of a black man. And I wonder why he act that soft. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Is it because when
Well, RG3 is a clown anyway. He's been
is
that
it
way.
because when the other guy
he
on
always
what
been
was his
that way.
name?
Park.
Rod Parker
Yeah.
went off on him and said that he's a clown and he definitely showed us he's a clown this time.
But he was just
So-
basically telling them like, dude, you ain't no position to speak on how a black woman feel when you've been in the household not once but twice married to a white woman.
Right.
But he don't have
him-
white. He
him-
don't have black mom or black sisters. He don't got black cousins.
Yeah.
he can't speak on black
could-
women's emotions because you fucking
that's
a
what
white
he
woman.
said.
Like
was
he never
saying-
fucked a black woman.
But he was trying to.
But
he
it's
was trying to
really
make the
hard.
point
It's really
that
hard
you
to.
didn't-
It's
you
really
didn't-
your mother and your cousins and your sisters is
Or
way
girlfriends.
different, and it's way different from knowing the black woman's emotions from when you're going home with them. You have to feed to those emotions.
And he was basically saying like, you detached yourself so far purposely because you're going around fun talking about
Yeah, that's
I
the
love
crazy
my white
part.
milk,
Yeah.
blah blah blah, whatever.
that's
he was
the
saying.
crazy part.
So he was saying you purposely detach yourself from the black woman, the way you speak on white women, you detach yourself from that and you don't even go home to it, so you can't speak on it.
Well, RG3 has always been the clown, man.
The part I don't like about that is my take on it, and I would hope everybody else's take on it. You could have did that same take if they were both white or both black. Mine completely took race out of it.
But that's what I'm saying. He never said anything about race.
Yeah,
All he said is that he don't have that experience going home. He never said you have a white wife.
He said, I met your wife. She's a nice
She is
lady.
a nice person. But that's what I'm saying.
She a nice lady without you
RG3 took
praising
it to
around
that
she
level.
white.
He tried to run with that narrative and try to say something that he said something about his wife and kids. Yeah. Nobody cares if who you go home to. But you shouldn't have biases toward people just because you pretty much go home to somebody white or go home to somebody black. Right. I don't sit up here dislike Caitlin Clark because she's white. I like Caitlin Clark as a player. It's everything that comes with her. And that's not because I go home to a black woman. Just because somebody go home to a white person or a white woman don't mean that they should always talk negatively about black men.
I don't. I love black women.
So that's my first time I ever heard you say that. I love my mama. But most men...
Hey, stop.
No, for real.
Don't do that.
I ain't saying you that guy. Most men like RG3 who have white women, you seem to...
He's aggressive with it.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? How he talk and all that. Like,
love me some milk. And
that's...
And he mocked
That's
the way
mocking
a black woman
and black culture when obviously...
he like the Uncle Ruckus.
You can't do that in a black household.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
You can't do that to your mama. You can't do that to your sister.
My thing is, I said Angel Reese was welcoming the villain role in Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. She was the first one ever to say, "I'll be the villain." So then I said that was a bad mistake because the America is going to make it about you being the black villain.
She didn't realize that.
She didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's just what the narrative is going to be.
She didn't realize
so
what she was doing when she said it.
I said she probably has a hatred or a very big dislike now because of everybody else making this narrative with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And now that Caitlin Clark's the face and the good guy and she's the bad guy. Like, but you put this upon yourself. That's where I'm saying she might have a dislike for Caitlin Clark. I don't think she personally maybe not like her, but I'm telling you, there's got to be something there at this point.
Yeah, but you can't just say that it's just something there and not say that it's something on
I can
Caitlin
understand
Clark's
why
end.
or where it would
It's
come
something
from.
on Caitlin Clark's end because she chooses to participate in it and she fouls her and she do shit like that
That's
and walks
basketball,
off.
I think that's
So
just basketball.
That's basketball.
And
I think
that's
that
the
would've been
same-
anybody.
Her getting up reacting is basketball as
Yeah,
well,
we
right?
said that was basketball.
So-
We agree. They both even said it was basketball.
So the only difference is the narrative and the fans around it and the commentators and everybody saying that,
and that
ooh,
can
you're
make-
hating
but that's
her.
what
And that could make somebody start to believe and think certain things.
They added fuel
That's
to the fire.
my point exactly.
Because we went
why
through this
would, why would
last year.
someone say that, ooh, she's the one that has hate and she's the one who got knocked on her ass? That's just ooh, the black person is always wrong type narrative.
No, what he's saying is that she, before that play, she already embraced that she was the villain in this.
Yeah.
And she only embraced it because white America,
She didn't have
like,
a choice.
just like
shitted
attacking
on her.
the shit out of
How
her.
do you have a choice?
So she just
That's what
so
I'm saying.
she
How do you-
taking.
that's what I'm
That's
saying.
why we said last week she's taking.
That's why every time we see her,
different-
she's
And I
Right.
said that was a mistake.
She's
I love
showing
Angel
us
Reese.
something different.
Yeah,
That's why
but
we see her smiling, showing something different. We see aspects of her life outside of basketball.
Yeah, but
we see ass. We see ass.
But that's what I said last week. I said the villain role is going to come from white. They're going to like when she step out in her clothes. That her culture. That's what the girls wearing our culture. White America, like what the fuck she got on? Why she wearing? She look like a.
But you got to think about it. They was also saying that about her when she was at LSU. The minute she did this shit here,
Which
And
is
she did
bullshit.
that.
That's what it started.
Yeah,
She's
that's
in
what she
America-
did.
That's when it
in
started.
America, she's
brought-
automatically the villain in the
Yeah.
situation because she's black.
She black and
That's why, just like with the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson
But she dealing with-
situation,
and
one
she-
person cusses out their teammates and drink beer all the time and just a potty mouth.
And
The
the
other
other one
person
flamboyant.
smiles, flamboyant, but he's the villain in the situation. You see what I'm saying?
He's fucking all
That's
the white
just
girls.
the narr-
all the white girls.
Fucking 100 million.
How
white
do we
girls.
have any proof that he done that?
He didn't really have AIDS.
It was a pit.
I mean,
It was
HIV.
what? How do we have any proof? He's been married to his wife
He called.
for 40, 50 years.
She don't got AIDS though.
That's what I'm saying. We don't
that
have
shit
any
was
proof
fake.
for none of that
Hey,
stuff.
let's-
This is just narratives that's put out there to.
He actually
But-
said it. He fucked up like
Angel-
a million people.
Angel Reese didn't sign the big corporation contract. She shitted on the WNBA saying, I make more off my NIL deals
Yeah,
than
she did say
WNBA
that when
players.
she
I
was
don't
in
need to go to
college,
the WNBA. You do that shit when we trying to get you to get here. We need you in this game.
But think
they
about-
thought they needed her. She stayed because she's making money on her NIL
But think
deals.
about what the ladies are doing now with their new league, though. They're
Yeah.
all getting equity in it.
They are.
Yeah.
And everybody's participating at a set.
And they started another league.
Yeah.
Why Caitlin Clark isn't participating?
Yeah, I don't know because I know
She probably doesn't have to.
Paige
Because
Becker.
she's benefiting from the WNBA. She's the only one.
Paige
But it's
Becker
her
took
name.
Paige Becker took some of her own
Jordan
money
didn't
and
benefit
invested
off
into
the
that in the
NBA.
3-on-3 league.
No, they didn't have NIL.
Who done had NIL?
Jordan.
Well, yeah, we know that, but I'm just saying. Though,
Jordan had
like,
an 8-year, 38 year,
Like you got to think, like how many times did Kobe do the Drew League? Once. How many times did Bron do it? Once. They didn't have to. They made the money in the big league. They didn't have to do that.
yeah, but
They ain't going to the Drew League to make money.
That's what I'm
went there
saying.
to hoop.
So that's what she's saying. I don't need to go to this league to make money. What's $250,000 to
But
$5 million?
But that's different from what you comparing it to. She's shitting on the. They was trying to get her to get to the league.
And
They
she
needed.
was
They thought
shitting
they
on
needed
her.
her star power in the WNBA.
Her
and
star power would definitely
She
help.
shitted on it. Like
Just-
I'm not going. I can stay here and make more money than those WNBA players off my NIL deals.
No, I'm not
And
talking
then-
about Angel Reese. I'm talking about Caitlin Clark. The reason why Caitlin Clark didn't go to the 3-on-3
Oh,
league.
the 3-on-3, the
Yeah,
rivalry.
she didn't have to.
Yeah.
She didn't have to. But we'll move on to what was the personal sports story?
Y'all want to go first? Just say everybody tell a personal sports story. Like
Oh, okay.
last
She's just
time.
breaking it up. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I can tell you about the first time I went to go see Kobe, or the only time.
What year was that?
It was 2011. It was a year after they won the chip. I lived in it's a city, a little city, Tolleson, Arizona. It was Southwest Arizona or Southwest Phoenix, and my boy. He was Romanian. My boy Titus. He was dating a girl who used to be one of the dancers at the Suns, and he was like, "Yo, I got a Suns tickets to see the Lakers," and I'm hyped. I'm like, oh, "Okay, bet." So he was like, "We're gonna go. It's gonna be 4 of us. It's gonna be us 2 and 2 girls." I'm like, "All right, bet. This is about to be a good night." And boy, when I tell you we was in the nose bleeds. I'm like, I said, she worked for who now? And he was like, yeah. She got the tickets from the team. And I'm asking him the question, but while we going up, and as I go up, the stairs get steeper and steeper.
Trying
To the
to hold
point
on,
where
huh?
you get to holding on with both hands,
Yeah.
shaking a little bit.
Trying to hold on.
Yeah, trying to look down. I said, "Nigga, this is where the fuck was we at?" We was legit in the.
Standing
So
room
you was
only.
in the third. So you was in the third row.
It was in Phoenix. They didn't have that. It's basically where standing row would be, and the United Center is where we was at, and that standing row was better than where we got.
Damn.
Because we was just up there, but. I tell you this, I mean, I had seen Kobe Bryant play his entire career, and there is nothing I've seen with my 2 eyes more majestic than his jumper. The way it was like, the way Kobe played, the way that Michael Jordan played felt a little bit more mechanical. The way Kobe played was a little bit more like watching like ballet. It was just more graceful. They both did the same things, but Michael Jordan was like, pop, move, this, that, and it was still amazing.
Michael was more athletic.
Yeah, Michael was so much more athletic. Kobe was like timing and this had to be here and get to my spot, and it was just like, it was very graceful watching him play. I'm very blessed to say that I got to watch him, play before he passed, especially a year after that was a championship team. That was I got to see Lamar Odom run around. I got to see
Not crackhead.
That was before the brothel.
It was before the Bronco. So I mean, it was just really cool. It was something that I'll tell my daughter about when she's old enough, to really recollect it, and get her head out of Devin Booker's ass. But
Hey, shit.
that's the man down there, so I get it. But that was a really cool experience outside of just and that really solidified my fandom for the team. I had been a Kobe fan or a Lakers fan since like '97. but that really like when you get to see your team play in person, it just makes so much more of a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's a good
Pancho?
Get me. I got so many, man. You know what I'm saying? I done played. I done played against the best of them. I done watched the best of them.
Talk about when you played.
Who was the hardest person you ever had to play?
Give us a story about
Rondo.
You played Rondo?
Rajon Rondo is the hardest player that I ever played against
When did you play him? Like how old?
in high school.
Okay.
I played him at AU, then he came to Gary and played us at Westside at the holiday tournament.
Oh damn, the holiday tournaments, man.
Yeah.
We don't have those no more.
Yeah, he
man.
was the hardest player because his arm's so long. And then
What year was that?
that was my senior year.
Oh, two. Okay.
But I played him the summer going into my senior year. The first time I played him, he killed me. And he had probably like 37, probably like 22 assists. But he started the game off like just doing assists. So you don't even think he was a scorer. That was my first time ever seeing him, even though they were saying he was one of the top point guards in the country. And that second half, the game was close. I don't even think he passed the ball no more. It was just like he just scored every possession down, 3, dunk. He was dunking on people.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's why I was like, people games is like, when they get to the NBA, it's like crazy because when you see them play before the NBA, they be like real scorers. And then they get to the NBA, they just turn into something else, either a decent player or rebounder or just a pure point
your
guard.
role on your team.
Yeah. But
Like Ron Harper, people don't know Ron Harper was
Rajon Rondo was crazy. So when he came to play us at the holiday tournament, I told one of my teammates, like, because my coach gave him to me, and I told my teammates, like, hey man, he's sorry, bro. You got to get him, bro. Like, if you get him, you can shut him down.
Who you put on him?
LA.
Ah,
And he torched LA.
You did him wrong,
Yeah,
bro. You
it's
set
like
him
you
up.
get him.
LA should have known
You
better.
get him.
He set him up.
Rajon Rondo and Jared Jack.
Okay,
I know Jared Jack.
Yeah,
Georgia
yeah.
Tech.
Yeah, because his uniform didn't match his team uniform.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? He had like his team.
He was a late substitute or
He
something.
came in and he came late and shit. And I'm just like, I got him. Shit.
You know they gonna be tight when they come late
he
with
was-
another jersey on.
He was already playing for somebody else.
They was like, come on over here.
He ain't even have to
You
pay.
fell for the okie doke for
He
that
played
one.
for about 6 different AAU teams,
We be
bro.
like, who that nigga just got on the bench over there?
He torched me too. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
That's
what's
crazy,
up.
man.
Damn, how come y'all ain't tell me I
I
look like
remember-
fucking Rick James in the fucking camera?
I'm a
'Cause
piggyback.
I
I'm a
ain't-
piggyback
bro.
off your story, man, to talk about the best pair I played against. So Zach Randolph, you know what I'm saying. So this is my freshman year in college. He had a girlfriend who stayed on campus at Indiana State. So he would come and, you know what I'm saying, hang out with her, and in the gyms in the morning and shit, he get his little workouts in, and we had some runs and shit. It was only like a select few of us though, but you know what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, you know, this was his first year being drafted from Michigan State to Portland. So this was his first year, his rookie year. This was actually that summer. He ain't even showed us nothing yet.
Baby Zebo.
Shit, this dude was in there smashing our ass though, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was like trying to stick him because I was like the center on campus. Man, this nigga, boy, spin, bow, hook. And he talking to me like, all right, folks. And I'm like, man, I told you I ain't folks, man. I kept telling him, like, stop calling me folks. He busting my ass. All right, folks.
Ready to fight now.
Yeah, man. And we actually got into it and everything. Was about to scrap and everything. But that nigga, he bust our ass, man. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's level to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what
It's levels to
because
this shit.
That Rajon Rondo shit, I was just like, I know I ain't going to the league.
So my story.
Hey, it's levels to this shit.
I never really told this story, but it's kind of based off of some tragedy. But I've never hooped on a professional court or like a college court growing up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? I did some things you always wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest and best basketball court I had ever seen in person was the Purdue Boilermaker Stadium, the gym. So we went for Midnight Madness. I think that was when Carson Cunningham was there.
Okay.
And it was obviously late. They play themselves like a scrimmage, and then people come see them. Different schools. And we took a bus down there. Well, when we was leaving, a drunk driver hit our bus head on.
Damn.
I think they had died too. But So obviously our butt we couldn't go. So they bust us. Another bus came and picked us up and took us back to the stadium. Yeah. And they let us hoop in the gym and shit. And Gene Katie came in there. We met Gene Katie. And we just sat there and hooped on the actual floor until our next ride came to take us home.
That's what's up.
So it was like a bittersweet moment, but it was something I had never done before. I was like, damn, it's the real court. And if you shoot, like if you come from the hood where you shooting on a crate with no background or a hoop with a very small background, you ain't got much to look at. You go to a stadium where the back behind the court is a big ass stadium. Damn. Your J got to be wet, bro, because it's just a different look. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Yeah, different. So it was just, man, it was just an experience I had as a kid.
And they got that double rim too. So
right.
That mug.
Damn, double rims? Do they even have double rims anymore?
Yeah, they
with the chain nets.
Nah, them double rims on the NBA. They got the rim the net web through the rim, so the rim is like this thick.
God damn,
it's like a double rim.
But it gives. It ain't like the double rims that don't give. It ain't like the hood double rim.
Right,
it's a breakaway. You thinking about the ones? It just be like clank.
Nah,
one on top of each other.
You had to hit that mug.
rims.
You had to hit that mug just right. Me ain't hit that mug just right. Clank clank.
Nah.
Layups and everything. Nah, I ain't never really played like high school basketball. I had a chance to. I fucked that up. That was on me. That was totally on me. Made the team and everything. Was supposed to be playing for Coach Broom. I found out my best friend that make the team. I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. He ain't playing. I ain't playing. And then on top of that, I ain't like Coach Broom anyway, though. Bro. I ain't like his ass.
Man, Coach Broom was a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, but
he was like, it was bigger than basketball to him.
Yeah.
Which we didn't understand it at the time. We just like, man, leave us the fuck alone. Let us fuck these bitches.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because your dad was a good coach, bro. Because when I pulled the same move he pulled in the 4th grade, like I didn't make the squad, and I mean, no, my boys didn't make the squad, but he chose me for the squad. Yeah. But I quit, and then he seen me. And he was like, bro, don't ever let them stop your shine. I chose you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They didn't have what it takes. They was missing practice and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And he was like, boom, you come out. And I came back out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Played for him 2 years, man. We only lost 1 game in 2 years, bro.
Too.
Yeah.
He was trying to get me to come over there.
Yeah, bro. We had the squad. I remember one game we played against Norton, bro. Scooch was on the squad, bro.
Ooh, Scooch, I remember him.
He had on all his pads and all that. You know how he had. So Duncan, not Norton. I'm sorry, Duncan. Yeah. So the game was 4-2. We ended up winning. So I ended up having 4 points, and I ended up getting the game winning block on like 5 seconds to go. To win the game.
The score was 4-2.
The score was 4-2. Scooch had 2 and we had 4.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that shit was funny.
I
man.
can remember my 6th grade year. We was in a tournament, and this was like trying to get to the championship game. And we had drew. I thought we had the bomb squad. What happened to come out? We play your damn dad, Carver. I was like,
shit, we was the truth.
I was like,
we was
damn.
The truth, man.
I sit here and I said to Terrence, I was like, dude.
Y'all don't even know me. I used to be at all y'all games, too.
I
just be sitting there like.
I remember you had a sister. Yeah, I remember your sister.
Man, I had told my team, I was like, I'm going to let y'all this right now.
No disrespect. No disrespect. That's crazy.
No, my sister's
I had a popular older sister, too, so a lot of people remember me
I
from my older
get
sister.
it. I got
to be around.
Yeah,
I get it, man.
And she way older.
You know how it was.
Man, I remember it was in a corner. I was finna take a jump shot. I looked at your dad. He looked at me. I almost went, you better not even think about shooting that, man. I gave him
you was one of those, but
I gave him a mark up, man. You know,
you better not shoot.
Man, when I see his dad would be towering over me. He was like, oh, man, you a good shooter. But he was like, you better not shoot when you play or something like that.
Now, his dad made sure everybody knew their role. You you wasn't a shooter. You
man,
don't
I passed the ball every time.
You a defender, you defend the
Carver.
rebound. He was the first coach that taught me to not block the ball out of bounds. Because at that time, I was just blocking everybody's shit, like blocking it out of bounds, laughing at them. Yeah. He was like, you see, now it's their ball again. You know what I'm saying? Right. He was like, block it in bounds and we can go on the fast break and go. Yeah. I was like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So I started trying to just pat it a little softer and still embarrass people when you can, though.
Real quick, we'll move on to OKC. I know the game is still going on, so the jury's still out on Indiana and the Knicks. But OKC did the gentleman sweep thing on Minnesota. Do we believe in them now? Are they a sure lock at the top with over Denver and over the other Western Conference competition? Are they a lock now? Do we believe in them? Are they real?
Well, we believed in them in December when I said that they was running away with the West, and you kept saying, "Well, what about this, and the Lakers and blah blah blah."
I personally
OKC is literally running away with the West. Don't y'all remember me saying that?
Here's the thing: I see it. It's right in front of my eyes, and I still don't get it. SGA has a scoring title this year. He has the Western Conference MVP, league MVP, first team. Mm-hmm. I mean, and he's an all-star.
Yeah,
running away with the West.
I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look dominating.
To you.
That's because it's like the first year Steph did. It was like a glitch. It's you don't supposed to be here. Like
I don't feel like I'm gonna look 5 years from now and SGA is a face of the league. Like I'm not looking. It doesn't look like it, but maybe I'm just not.
It'll never be a face of the league again.
Well, that's hard. That's hard for you to. I mean, that's hard for me hearing you say that when you just praise Kobe and the man moves exactly like Kobe.
Yeah.
No, I'm sitting there and I'm watching
like Kobe.
And
watch the montage, bro. He's got the same moves.
Like
I don't
Kobe,
care about that montage. Kobe was not foul baiting like that.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking.
I think the thing is it's just his name wasn't always buzzing like that, so he's kind of unexpected.
He's been on the
that's
come
because
up
you didn't
the
watch
last
it.
3 years. He led the league.
He was doing
He
that.
led the league in scoring.
Well, nobody knew because the games were.
I
3
didn't
years of
think much of
averaging
him.
over 30.
Over 30 is crazy.
I didn't think of much of him until
shooting over
last
50%.
season.
I put
He was
like that.
he was an MVP candidate last year.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Hey,
He's
you'd
true.
have knew his
I get
name a
what
whole
you're saying,
lot
though.
quicker if the damn Clippers wouldn't have traded as like they did. That
I think that might be
No,
what it
that
is.
was the
He's
best
just
thing
not
that
on it.
happened to him.
I know that was the
It
best
is.
thing that happened to him, but the Clippers were stupid.
No, they wasn't. At the time, Paul George was Paul George. He wasn't Shea at that time.
I think the reason why I don't think of him that way is just because he
That
doesn't play
very
for
next
him.
year, he
Like,
showed
yeah.
you that he was better than Paul George.
But then nobody saw that coming.
No one saw that coming.
Nobody saw it coming.
But look,
You're right.
because look
You
at the
think
haul
OKC
that
would
they
have got
got.
rid of James Harden if he was what he was?
Right.
They got SGA 2 players and like 5 picks.
Yeah, but that was the best thing that happened for SGA because he was allowed to play.
It
If he'd
was,
have been
but
with the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard still would have been there.
I think it's the same thing as
They wouldn't
like
have traded Paul
part-time.
George.
I think it's the same
Right,
thing
yeah,
as like James Harden to Houston. We knew James Harden was good. We know he was that damn good. We know he was MVP
How
good.
really good was he though?
We know he was. We know he was
So
an MVP candidate.
that's a good example because I believe he's benefiting just like James Harden benefited from rules.
I think
And
he just
believe
has-
the rule change. It's going to be a rule change.
I think he just has a better team than James Harden had.
Then Houston
James
was low.
Harden,
Houston was a good
James
team.
Harden
State
benefited
was
from
just
the
a-
rules at the time. They was allowing him to get away with a lot of stuff that they changed the rules now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think they're gonna like with Shea. Shea creates the contact. He pushes off just
A whole
because
lot.
the player feet ain't set. They call a defensive foul every time.
I don't have anything to do with the offensive player creating that type of space using your body. That's why my shoulders look the way they. Well, when I was in basketball shape, my shoulders was always big because I was taught build your shoulders up to use your shoulders to get your separation when you want to score. So I don't have anything. I don't have nothing against that. But I get what you're saying when he's drawing contact when somebody get
Coming up
caught
under
in
his
and
arm.
all that shit. I don't like that shit.
But this is what he do. He do the bump and he just start losing his own balance.
yeah.
So that shows that he's drawing that foul.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he like that.
Of course you gon' you know what I'm saying? But who gonna do this and then soon as you make contact with the person, you automatically just turn into a noodle body.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And then he get the call every time.
That's
Yeah,
true.
because I think that was like when I was talking last week. Then when he came down on that break and he tripped himself, and this motherfucker falling on his knees and just threw the ball up. And I think somebody just barely touched him. Foul. I was like, that's a foul? Come on, man. And then it's been plenty of times. If he go to the cup and your arms is up like this, some way, somehow he gonna find a way to put his body into you, and he gonna bring his arms up the way you at and throw the ball up, and they call a foul on that.
Yeah, man, he do a lot of
I don't
foul
like
betting,
that.
and they're gonna change that rule next year or the year after that, and it's gonna be a different shape.
And what's crazy is, without that bullshit, the dude is cold blooded.
Yeah.
He cold blooded. He don't need to do that shit. But
y'all
him
notice
doing that shit make me not like him.
James Harden's
Yeah,
scoring
me too.
impact went down once he stopped getting those foul calls.
Yeah, because remember he used to go to the line like
That's why he used to
All
look so
games
trash
he
in the
be at the
playoffs.
line.
'Cause they ain't used to give them calls in the playoffs. They let him go average 37 in the
'Cause,
regular season.
it was
and then give
one
him
in
shit
the-
in the playoffs.
So y'all think Shea gonna get those calls in the finals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he gonna get that
he
call
got
in the
him this
finals.
they might tighten it down a little
Yeah,
bit.
I don't think he gonna get that.
Let me ask you guys. So
No, you can't win the West MVP, the MVP of the league, and then get it all through the playoffs, and then come to the finals, and then they switch up on you.
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy.
think they're gonna do that.
So
They
what-
might start the
They
next
did
season
that.
and say
They did that to
"We're not
Luka
doing that
last
shit."
year. They did that to Luka last year. They didn't give him his normal.
He wasn't
foul.
MVP.
So I understand that the league is about to change quite a bit, like a lot. You're going to get about $20 million more of cap space per team. Not only that, you're going into a summer where you're going to see KD move around. You're going into a summer where you're going to see Giannis probably move around.
KD
So
ain't making no impact nowhere.
I understand, but the league is going to
If
look
he
a
go to
lot.
Houston, he can make impact.
The league
They
is
got
gonna look a
everything.
lot
They just need to
different.
score.
A closer.
They gonna become lazy.
The league is going to look a lot different next season than it does this season. Also, you have Oklahoma City, who has in the next 3 drafts, they have 6 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts and a flurry of second-round picks.
But they don't have not one spot available on their roster.
They gonna trade some of them picks, man.
No, so I'm saying, is there, when you're looking at OKC right now, and you're looking at them going to the finals,
Dort could be replaced.
do you feel like they're here to stay, or do you feel like
No, I don't.
do you
see
feel
a
like they'll
dynasty.
fizzle out like the last OKC team?
This-
That
I don't
was
see.
hot?
I don't see a dynasty here.
I'm not saying dynasty.
It's been a new champion
7 years.
7 years in a
I
row.
don't think
man.
nobody in the NBA going back to back
Yeah.
and do that
Which is
3-peat.
dope.
No
They
time
gonna.
soon.
I think
They might have a decent run, but I don't think they're gonna.
They
do
only lost
back-to-back
one
or
team.
nothing.
They only lost
They
one
barely
game.
got past Denver.
I
They
believe
might
they
not even
always
beat the
gonna be
Pacers.
competitive.
The Pacers might beat them.
They always gonna be competitive. If it's them and the Pacers, that's gonna be a hell of a game because they can run with the Pacers. The Pacers can run with
They
them.
only lost to one. They only lost one game to an Eastern Conference team last season or this season, and it was the Cavs
You
at
can't go
home.
by regular season though.
I understand, but and then also their points differential versus every team in the NBA is the highest in NBA history.
playoff
It's not
game
that
is
it's not that
different,
they're a slouch by any means.
No, we're not
They're a
saying
great
that's
team.
slouch.
That's why I said they was
But-
running away with the West.
That's this year. Next year,
Next year, you don't think that success is sustainable?
I don't think. I mean, no, they can have a good regular season and still be number 1 in the West. I don't see nobody back to back. I mean, winning back to back no more. Like, I don't see that.
It's gonna be
I
difficult.
don't even see the NBA having a face of the league no more. I
'Cause
think they just gonna
I believe
let everybody just be. Who
I believe
they are,
Denver gonna
all
make whatever
stars.
moves they need to make. Houston gonna make whatever moves they need to make.
They better get rid of Jalen Green.
San Antonio gonna make whatever fucking moves they need to make. Hell,
big for
even your Lakers might pull something out their ass.
They talking about trading Austin Reeves.
Bro, I'm about to go to.
They said that they might have to because of his contract. It's highly unlikely just because of how they value them.
So-
but no, I mean,
I just
you
think
never
the
know.
West is always gonna be tough. Now the East, man, that's just take your pick and poison.
If Giannis leaves the East,
yes,
it's really gonna be wide open. I would
Yeah.
stay in the East
I
somewhere.
feel like players are gonna go out west. I feel
I
like,
was saying the
but
same
that's not
thing.
the smart.
I mean,
move,
not
though.
go out west. I
Giannis,
feel like
I'd be
players
like-
would go out east. I feel like Giannis would stay, and then you would have players like KD and
But there's
whoever
not
else.
a lot of destinations out east. Detroit is the only place that's looking like, ooh, I can possibly go out east.
Well, Boston's getting ready to get tore apart.
Yeah.
Right? Where
Yeah, we was talking about that
what other
yeah.
team out east would be a destination? Can't say the Knicks.
Cleveland.
Indiana.
Cleveland, they already stacked.
Bulls.
Man,
not
you
stacked
can't go to
enough.
the
Nah,
Bulls.
I want to
We
know
ain't
how
gonna
the
be able
Bulls
to
don't
get
have a superstar, bro. That's crazy.
Come on, man. The Bulls don't give a damn about
I
nothing.
know they don't care. Chicago
Right.
sports don't
They
care.
sell
because
out
they
every
gonna
game.
sell
They
out.
sold out.
All Chicago sports don't give a fuck
The
about
Bulls
us
don't
fans.
give
They
no
gonna sell out.
I can't
damn.
remember. We was talking
But
about
it's
this
just
last
crazy
week.
because it's a
Matter
big
of fact,
market.
Right.
I'm trying to figure
It's
out
the
why
wrong
they-
owners. We were talking about
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
last week.
Jay said it last week. He was like, until Reinsdorf get the Bulls up, he don't see nothing happening. And I agree with him on that. He got to sell the motherfucking team, bro. But he ain't gonna sell it.
But I'm
So
about to leave.
outside of
At least send somebody over.
the top 4 teams in the East, Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, and Pacers, you have the Bucks who had a meeting with Giannis.
They done.
and they want to re-up. Giannis is open to staying if they can make some moves. I can't really see moves that they can make because they don't have a lot of movable contracts and they have no assets as far as draft picks.
And they got Dame that ain't playing all
Yeah,
year.
the only people I know that's not under contract, they said was Lopez and the weed smoker.
Bobby Smurder. I mean Bobby Portis.
Portis.
Yeah, Bobby Portis.
So I mean, Bucks could, but if you find a way to get somebody else to the Bucks, maybe. But I just don't know if.
And
it
if
can happen.
I was the Sixers, I would blow that shit the fuck up.
But not everybody can blow it up. You got the Pistons who are maybe a player away, a great player away.
Only the
you also don't sleep on
Pistons.
don't sleep on the Magic. Please do not sleep on the Magic.
The Eastern
Magic.
Conference got some good teams. If the 76ers is healthy, they'll be a decent team in the East.
If Miami can find their way into a superstar,
Nobody wants to play in that culture.
If we get a superstar big, we could be decent.
Can I ask you a question? How come we don't? Well, how come? I mean, Atlanta, Trae Young.
Trae Young
trying to get out of
shit
there.
out of there.
They about to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, well, also a team that I think is maybe a player away, the Raptors.
A player away from what?
Toronto.
A player, yes.
They
Player
got a
away
nice
from what,
squad though.
If you add,
Away
can
from
win
being
it.
where
You gotta-
Vancouver Grizzlies at?
Yeah, like what?
No,
what's
you
that player
put
away?
Giannis on the Raptors and they winning it next year.
yeah,
You think so?
Yes.
yeah.
No.
They got
Brian-
Bi,
they got Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
and
They got
I don't think they're gonna win it though, bro.
They got
old boy
Barnes.
that you got.
they got Scotty Barnes.
And then they got
They got RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
But they gonna have to move one of them though.
They got Jakob Poeltl.
yeah.
They gonna have to move one of them, I believe. If
They,
you want to get
you
Giannis.
know,
Bro, you said a player
if they
away.
get-
They got no
so They
distractions.
didn't even make the playoffs this year. Did they get Giannis? They gonna win it all?
Jakob
That's
Poeltl.
crazy.
That's
we talking about the East.
It's the East.
We talking about the East.
What you mean? The East got some good teams. Like we forgetting, like the Bucks been hurt down there the whole season. Somebody gets suspended.
How many years we gonna get Giannis a pass?
Bro,
for
he just
getting knocked
won
out
3
of the-
years ago. He just
and
won the
he
championship
got
3 years
knocked
ago.
out in the first round.
Then
the
they
last
made a
3
trade
years.
in the middle of the season that kind of fucked they.
Man, he got
you know what I'm
picked
saying?
out 3 years in the first
Chris
round after that.
If Chris Middleton
We
was
can't keep
healthy
giving him a pass.
from the start of the season, the Bucks would be in a better position, and he would have
It's
got
only
traded.
82 games,
But
man.
they just
load
won 3 years
managing why
ago.
nobody can be healthy during
They
the playoffs.
just won 3 years ago,
and
they
they
trying
lost.
to trade him. You just got to put some pieces. How you just win 3 years ago and you trying to get the
What
media
pieces
trying to
you
get
gonna
rid
put
of
around
him.
Giannis,
Just put
though?
some pieces around him. They lost Drew Holiday.
What
That was a big
pieces?
piece. Now they got to go back and get a defensive stopper guard. That's all they need. And
The
then,
Bucks need a lot.
No, they don't need a lot. You just said the East was trash. Why they need a lot?
The Bucks was sad, man. You seen
Bro.
what the fuck happened to them?
Dog, they been hurt.
Haliburton just.
I just
the
told you
last
they was
few
hurt.
Plays, he just ran
Indiana-
through them like
Indiana-
Swiss cheese.
Bro,
You gonna
Indiana,
have to get a point guard because
Haliburton's
Damian ain't
daddy came out on the court.
Indiana
like
was
what,
healthy.
middle of the
They
season?
hurt. The 76ers. The 76ers is a decent team on paper. If everybody's healthy,
So-
76ers would be a
So
good
you
team.
mean to tell me that?
I'm going through the whole
Hold on.
East.
So
You said the
so-
East is
hold on.
trash.
So the Pacers wasn't getting in the Bucks' ass before Dame
then.
told that.
Yeah, but Chris Middleton was hurt
He
last
ain't on
year.
the team.
Chris
I'm talking
Middleton.
about this year.
Then Giannis was
He
hurt in
ain't
the
on
playoffs
team
last
yet.
year.
I'm talking this year.
What you mean?
They started with Giannis and
Bro,
Dame Lillard.
Yeah, they was good. They won a play-in. I mean, they won a play-in tournament. They was good in the beginning of the season.
But wasn't the Pacers getting in their ass
Dog,
before that? Is
they
what
beat
I'm
them
saying?
in the beginning of the season. That's how
I'm
they
talking
ended up going
about
to the
this
play-in and winning
series.
it.
He got hurt in like game 3.
Who?
It was Dame Lillard.
Dame was hurt at the beginning of the season. He hurt himself at the end of the season.
No, he got hurt in the playoffs.
No, he didn't. He didn't start the series off playing.
Yeah, he
he
did.
came back like game 3. Remember, he was on the bench arguing with him
Yeah,
in
that's
game 1
right,
and 2.
yeah.
Nah, but he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, but he was hurt. He had that blood clot.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had a blood.
So what
clot.
I'm saying
But
is
he
that
played? He
remember the
played?
year before, Giannis was hurt
It's
against
always
the
something.
paper. That's why I said if they was healthy,
Every year
they'd
he
be a
out in
decent
the
team.
first round.
Didn't I say that? If they was healthy, they'd be Chris Middleton.
I just need
and
him to win
Giannis
a
was hurt
playoff
last
series.
and Dame, right? Last year in the playoffs, first round, all three they top 3 scorers was hurt.
It's a wait and see, but I think there are more
I think
contenders in the East
I think the
than
East
what it looks
is better
like.
than what you think they are.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not.
What
That's why we had a situation with the Pacers and the Knicks in the Eastern Conference
The
Finals.
Pacers not
right
a bad
now.
team.
No, neither is the Knicks.
Yeah, but the Pacers wouldn't make it through the play-in in the West.
Why not?
They wouldn't. They wouldn't have made it through the play-in in the West.
Well, We don't know.
Well, we know they would have beat the Lakers.
The Knicks wouldn't have waited through the first round in the West.
That's facts. That's facts.
They would have beat the Lakers.
That's facts.
Matter of
though.
fact,
Beat the Lakers.
they would have beat a couple teams.
They beat the Lakers. They beat the Grizzlies.
They wouldn't have beat
They
the
would've
Lakers.
beat-
So how did
What?
They
Sacramento,
wouldn't have
they'd have beat
Yeah.
Sacramento.
They would have not beat the Lakers.
They would have beat the
Yeah,
Lakers.
Nah,
Bro, they shoot too good, bro. Every one of these dudes is
They're
shooting
way-
threes.
And they play
They're
they
way
play
too
good
big.
defense.
Pause. They're way too big. Pause.
Yeah, they play a lot of
Four
good
to five
defense.
players on the
They
floor
wouldn't
that
have
shoot
beat the
threes.
Lakers. They wouldn't have beat the Grizzlies.
So what would you
either.
call
beat
the
the
reason
Grizzlies,
the way why Indiana beat Cleveland then? Because Cleveland was
was
number
hurt.
one.
They was hurt.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about Ant saying that he wasn't hurt by losing the series? After they went down, he said, "I don't know why people think it would hurt. I'm excited for me. I'm 23. I get to do it a whole bunch of times." And then he also followed that up immediately by saying, "I do feel sorry for my man's right here,
Mike Conley,
because he's 37 years
And
old."
you should have seen the look on his face when he said that shit.
Well, to me, is that all?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
To me, that tells me he's not a student of the game.
Nope.
Because if you know the game of basketball, any sport, it's hard to get to certain levels, and it's never guaranteed. So that shit should absolutely hurt. And that's one thing I don't understand about these kids these days. Because when I was a kid, I thought my life was over. Like, it wasn't nothing else in the world but to win. You know what I mean? Like, how do you lose and be like, I got more time? Like, to me, that just shows lack of passion. I don't know.
Who wants to wait a whole nother year?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Well,
Going through
anything can happen.
That losing feeling.
Yeah. That just did. That sound
And you're a Jordan fan? That's odd.
Oh gosh.
What
the
do you
most
mean?
fierce competitor ever.
When Jordan won, he didn't lose no more. So that's a good. I'm
When
glad
Jordan
you brought
lost, he was gambling in the locker room and getting
Man,
drunk.
no. Jordan was pissed.
Jordan retired 3 times. He's a quitter.
Jordan could play 3 rounds of golf and come give you 55.
Hey, man, get your ass off
Bust
the
your
mic,
ass
bro.
Jordan
and
can
say,
come
your
back
ass
right
off the
now.
mic.
I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, get out of here.
Anyway,
But I think
go ahead.
I think it's good. I don't like what he said, but I think what the NBA need, why the NBA not gonna have somebody could be the face of the league. The NBA don't have a story, so I think they creating a story for Ant, like the Jordan story, like where it's gonna be like you lose and we document your failures, and you go against these teams and we lose, and you got somebody else, and then when he win, it's gonna be celebrated like, yeah, he finally did it. So everybody's been winning so fast in the NBA lately. And they've been winning MVPs, they've been winning championships. You know what I'm saying? It's just been fast, so we haven't attached to a player yet.
Ain't no rights.
You know what I'm
of
saying? So
passage
that's
anymore.
so that's why people like Jokic is dominating. People still say, man, he ain't all that to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why Shea win the MVP and about to win the finals and do all this, and it's like, man, I don't really know about because nobody attached to a player, like nobody like went
Well,
through
we was attached to Ja until he started being
to Ja.
until he
Until he
turned into
started
Ja
wanting to be-
Rule.
I wasn't attached to him. Shit.
We was attached to him. You know what I'm
Chitty
saying?
chitty bang bang, motherfucker.
He wanted to be Murder Inc. instead of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
When
what
I
I
met,
do
it's gonna
without
be
my
chitty chitty bang
baby?
bang.
we about to be attached to
What do you guys think?
Anthony Edwards.
What do you guys
Ant will be
think
my
that
new
they need
favorite.
to get over the hump?
Ant will be my new favorite.
What do the Wolves need to get over the hump?
Hey, I ain't got nothing against Mike Conley.
Oh, they need it for him to
They
show
need to
up.
get rid of Mike Conley.
They
Well,
gonna
need
need-
it for Anthony to
at
show
least
up.
bring him off the bench.
They got to have somebody
Julius
help.
Randle.
What happened to T.J. Dillashaw?
Ooh.
Wasn't that his name? T.J. something who they drafted?
Bob Dillingham or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He ain't
didn't
play
get a
garbage
minute.
minutes.
He ain't really play.
Yeah, man. He should have been able to get Mike Conley minutes.
Yeah,
Can I ask you guys a question?
but here,
What if you add Trey Young to this somehow, some way, somehow?
To the Wolves?
Yeah.
that'd be
Nah,
nice.
bro.
Why
'cause
is Trae
averaged
Young
11
so shit?
He averaged 11 assists.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but he can't play.
he can't play the defense. Yeah,
But
exactly.
So what?
But they have other
they
other
got
defenders.
defensive players.
They have defensive players.
But you can still hunt him out in the playoffs.
Right,
series,
you
though.
hunt him
Nah.
out in the playoffs.
No, you play some good
See,
teams.
you-
But
That's the thing,
but also you could hunt out Steph. But you know what I'm
No,
saying?
Steph's way better defender than Trey Young.
Really?
Yes.
See, the thing is, everybody wants to have all these little ass guards on the team. You already got Anthony Edwards that can shoot out and play outside the perimeter, drive, play inside.
They
Gives
don't
you a
need
good
Conley.
big man.
Right.
Gobert is trash. He don't
trash.
catch no passes.
Can't
thrown
catch.
to
He
him in
can't
the
even
mid. He
rebound.
can't get no rebounds.
Yeah, he's just a
He's
sloppy
trash.
toppy.
But it's crazy how unfortunately, he looked against the Lakers like he was the all-world
Yeah,
center.
he did.
And I'm
The
looking
Lakers
like,
don't got a
dude,
center.
They don't have a 7-footer.
right, and I get it.
They don't have a
But,
7-footer.
and I'm looking like,
That was a
you
bad
can do
game
this to
plan.
me,
You
serious?
said LeBron James could stick all 5
Yeah, it was a
positions.
bad
Hey,
game.
real quick. For the viewers that are watching, you just had Thomas Bryant. I go off for, I believe, 2 straight 3-pointers?
Yeah.
For Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant.
Thomas, if
He was a Laker at one point in time.
he was drafted to the Lakers.
He played for Indiana.
Oh, he
too.
played for the Lakers
Played for
twice.
Twice. That's my guy.
I
That's
like
if it's-
Thomas Bryant.
he's one of those players that I'm like, I hope he gets a ring. I really hope he gets a ring because he's been hustling. He was damn near out of the league 2 years ago, and the Lakers gave him another shot. Then he went to, I think, where did he go? I can't remember.
He's a hard hat muscle.
He was in Miami.
energy player.
He was in Miami.
Energy player. He was in Miami. Energy player. So I just wanted to pause for that, but real quick. But
Yeah, it looks like these Pacers getting in the Knicks' ass.
Yeah.
So
It's a
good
game.
luck.
The Knicks will come back
Good
from
luck,
minus
John
20.
Starks.
What's gonna help Anthony Edwards out is, as much as I hate to say it, because I think I was watching a couple of clips that I know he had sent. He gonna have to do like what Kobe did, Jamal Mashburn, all them, and go to Mike. Hey, where's my game lacking at? Because Michael Jordan broke down Jamal Mashburn's game like to the T, and he told him, man, if you stop going right so many dang on times and going here, this and that, it's gonna open up your game more. And he did that the next game. Next thing you know, he dropped like 45. So he changed that. He's gonna have to go talk to some veteran and be like, "Hey, bro,
and you know
what am I missing?"
You know what they're gonna tell him? That he needs to get a mid-range game.
Yeah,
That's what they're going to tell him
that's what
because
it is.
he doesn't have a
threes,
mid-range
bro.
game, and so here's how you beat. Here's how the Timberwolves got beat, and this is how I wish the Lakers beat them because we knew this all before. They're a terrible 3-point shooting team.
Oh yeah,
Terrible 3-point shooting team, but they get hot when they get hot, but they're a terrible 3-point shooting team. They don't have other scorers outside of Ant to be able to. I mean, getting rid of. Getting Julius Randle was a gift and a curse because you also gave up Cat's ability to create. So, and Julius Randle can create, but not in the same way, Yeah. So, I mean, I think if they could take your Rudy Gobert and flip him for maybe another big and 2 guys that can actually shoot the ball and someone who can create.
Nah, man, I think they're Rudy Gobert. Their team is good. If you look, they actually got out coached. What was happening was they was bringing their bigs out, doing the flare screen every time, and they were trying to do that on Caruso and them. They can't do that on those guys. So they were bringing Gobert and Nas Reed out, handing the ball off to each other, getting picked every time and not making any adjustments.
And also,
so Julius Randle couldn't come out and do this. So why not make adjustment and get these guys on the block?
And their defensive
they never
schemes weren't
got
great
these
either.
guys on the block. Yeah. So they would let Ant dribble the air out the ball every now and then, and then when they bring up 2 people, all he do is pass it.
Yeah, when
he
he
never
passed it,
even
he didn't
tried
make no
to make,
plays. Right.
but he
And
never
that's-
even tried to force the
but
D to
that's-
make an adjustment.
that's
And
the-
you have to try to force the D to make an adjustment.
and that's-
you can't just fall into what they make you do every time.
That goes along with what Puncho said last week when he said that sometimes teams play the current team how they played the team they played prior because they played the Lakers like that and it worked.
Yeah.
Because those players shot. Your Alexander Walker, he was able to get his shot off against the Lakers. He was shooting over 40%. Nas Reed was the second best player on the team during that series.
But you're doing exactly what they want you to do.
But the thing is that Ant got to realize is that, bro, when you're a superstar at that height and that skill set, you got to learn how to play with your back towards the basket because it opened up you be able to read offense better. Like on the offensive end, people can move, people can slash. The defense,
That means getting down on the block.
Well, it could be at the elbow corner. Wherever you do it at, I prefer for him to do it on the elbow corner, like the Mikes, like the Kobe's, like the Kawhis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even Shea do that. You know what I'm saying? You create like that, and
here's the thing:
it's like a triangle. Like
if you was that coach, I know I probably would have did it. Even though I know Chet Holmgren got some height on him, I'd have had to put somebody in a post. Hey, post this little small frame ass the fuck up, cause he high height.
Right, they never did that one time.
They ain't-
Rudy Gobert
I
never
ain't-
did
yeah,
it one
I ain't see that one time.
You know what I would have told Anthony Edwards that help him win? Y'all ever seen Don't Be a Menace when he was punching all them kids.
Yeah.
He should have did that with every one of them motherfuckers on his team. Just start punching all of them because ain't one of them helped. When they were sending double teams and triple teams to him, he was making the right passes and they ain't do shit with it. They got numbers now.
Yeah.
How do you got the numbers from the paint down and you can't score the ball?
He playing into exactly what they wanted him to do.
Give the ball up because you ain't got no teammates.
It's easy.
So you should just start finding those niggas because Nas Reed went missing. Where'd he go?
That's because they tried to get Nas Reed the ball in the same spot every time at the top of the key with Caruso charging at him. That's bad coaching.
Because, hey, I did notice that when I think Conley came up the court, as soon as he passed half court, he gave the ball to Edwards. And immediately as soon as they gave him, they trapped him, double teamed him quick.
And then because they know he ain't no teammates.
Yeah.
Nas Reed is like 7 foot tall.
Knowing that they can't shoot.
Nas
Knowing
Reed,
that they can't shoot.
I've never seen him play inside the 3-point line.
The game plan to beat
The nigga's like 7 foot.
the game plan to beat the
6'8",
Wolves.
6'9".
He like 6'10".
He's 6'7".
He should
Ain't
never.
no way he's 6'7".
He should
He
never.
is short,
he should-
man.
No, Nas Reed.
He's 6'8".
He like 6'9", 6'10".
He gotta be, man. He gotta be taller.
He's 6'9".
No,
He's
like
6'9".
6'9", 6'9",
But,
6'10" with shoes on.
But their
should be
strategy was
in
to
the
make
paint
them make
somewhere.
shots, and Minnesota can't consistently make shots.
Well, he just said Minnesota. When you got your point guard crossing a half court line, and you giving it to Anthony Edwards, you fucked up everything like that. You giving it, and he facing and trying to create off the dribble, you fucked up everything.
That's what I'm saying. You're doing exactly
You know
what
what I'm
the
saying?
defenses
Yeah,
want you to
fucked
do.
up everything.
If
He
you're
might as
doing
well brought the
exactly
game-
what
he
they
might as well
want you
brought
to
the ball up
do,
court.
of course y'all gonna lose.
Right.
Because they plan on the percentage-wise they making a couple of those shots. They missing a couple.
They weren't giving Anthony Edwards any of the ball off of screen cuts to the basket. Nothing.
Right.
They was giving it to him halfway from the 3-point line and half court and saying, make something happen.
How many times did he try to beat the double team?
Yeah.
Or try to do
And then
something
you got to do that
before?
all game.
Yeah.
But that's what Jordan do. Steph Curry do it all the time.
But what I'm saying, those was the years in the 80s when Mike was doing that and killing, but he wasn't winning because he didn't have no
Steph Curry
teammates.
does that now.
Well, Steph Curry is a different type of animal. He shoot from wherever he get the ball. But what I'm saying is, with Anthony Edwards, they wanted him to get the ball and create for himself.
Yeah.
But they're throwing double teams and triple teams at him.
Exactly.
Because they know he had nobody he could trust.
That's why I said.
But
he
he's
needs
getting
to
the ball too far away from the
That's
basket.
what I'm saying. They need to be
He's
giving the ball
he's trying to
cutting
create off
towards the
dribble.
basket.
He's trying to create off the dribble.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna
And you
work.
do that all game, you tied. Especially when they sit in the house. OKC's defense is crazy.
And Julius Randle didn't go to
So,
plan B.
he didn't show up.
He didn't go to plan B.
He was at
He
Baskin
stayed
Robbins.
at plan A. However, he played against the Lakers, and they defense can match that. And he didn't go to plan B.
He deserves to get fired on too.
So we got New York Knicks, of course, and Indiana. They're still going at it.
78 to 70.
Do any of these teams stand a chance against OKC?
Hey, hold on before you get to that. Real quick. Like me and you was talking. Once again, what is the ball doing with Jalen Brunson? Sticking in his hand. That's the reason why New York is losing on half of this game. Because it seemed like when he come up the court, he dribbling the air out of the ball.
he
Then
better go to the bench. and it's
he
gonna be
want
a
to sit
comeback.
here and then
go
all
to
of a
the
sudden
bench
he
in a
want to
minute.
give it to somebody. Like, dude, stop dribbling the fucking air out of the ball. Either pass and cut or get open, man.
Yeah, they do. They have their best success when he's
When he on the bench.
off the or off the ball.
Yeah. So
Do any of these teams stand a chance against OKC?
I would say
Nah,
Indy.
not really.
Not really, but I think Indiana probably give them a better chance because Indiana,
Offense can keep up.
yeah.
They can score 140 points.
And defensively too.
And the only thing is, I do know that New York is not doing it. I know that OKC is going to make Indiana do. They going to make their ass play a half-court game with their defense.
Indiana got a better coach too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches, man, what's up with Thibodeau's comb over? He got like 9 pieces of hair just ripped over, like look like somebody drew it with a pen.
pencil.
I forgot one. Let me give you one more before
One
the game.
more. Look at it.
Hey,
That
look
go
at
right
him
there.
now.
Like, come on, man. Like, get rid of that, bro.
Shave it. He ain't going to do it, bro.
Got one. Let me get him one more. Each conference finals, get him one more strand of hair going across.
See, this is the time
so
right
the-
now they're going to go to Cat.
I just want to see the finals in the Mecca. I think it'd be
Man,
awesome
take
to see
that damn shirt off.
I think it'd be
You
nice.
talking about
to
you
see
want to see the finals?
the finals in the
Mecca.
Mecca. I mean, I bet Shea rather be playing his finals in that
Mecca
atmosphere
these nuts.
than to be in Indiana.
That's
They're
because
going, you said going to the cornfields.
because it's kind of close to. It's not that far from
Look
Toronto.
at these nuts.
You saying
It's the
he'll
Garden.
be better playing in the Mecca than playing in the cornfields, huh? Children of the corn and shit.
Every player want to play in the Mecca, bro.
Nah, that's a myth, man.
No, it ain't.
Dre, you got written
All the
down.
stars out there in the crowd.
Man.
Dre, you got written down. Who's a better all-around player, Brunson or Haliburton? I think that's.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to go with Haliburton.
It's Haliburton.
Yeah,
all
I disagree
around.
with that. Yeah, all around. Yeah.
We just said it's plus minus. It's crazy. I brought up a stat.
What about Haliburton though? Because Haliburton, he does go absent for games, and Jalen Brunson does that.
What's
He don't do
your
that at all.
definition of absent?
Like last game?
Yeah, last game he went absent after having 35 and 10.
Okay, so how many assists did he have? What was his plus minus?
Ooh,
He scored.
He
less
never
than
he
10
never
points,
was a
man.
really a 20+ something point a game player anyway.
Yeah.
So you would rather
so-
have Jalen Brunson consistent 30 and 5?
Not the way he get it.
Not when he giving up
Yeah.
30 on defense. So or the way he giving it. But
That's
the
true.
thing is, I made
watch.
this
Look at
before Indiana even got this far in the playoffs. I made this stat a couple weeks ago. When Haliburton played against Chicago, he had a 20 assist game with 0 turnovers. He just did that one of these games recently. He had 14 assists, no turnovers. He that's very efficient basketball.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. So I would rather have that on my team any day of the week. He don't turn the ball over. He gets assists. He gets rebounds.
Why you just
He's
take
a
him out?
I don't know. He's a spark.
Yeah, I definitely go with Haliburton too over Brunson. Plus, he got a little bit more size, and I think you're gonna need that size in the long run.
Yeah.
He went 2 for 7 and 0 for 2 in the last game, where he only scored 8 points, and he had 2 rebounds, 6 assists, and his plus minus was minus 23.
Damn, that's a LeBron James plus minus.
I think the whole team was a minus thing.
Yeah, I mean, Neesmith was a minus 20. Turner was a minus 20.
They was down 20 points.
Lombard was minus 25.
Every team in the playoffs is going to have a game where nobody show up. We say OKC get beat by 40
time. Hell
in
yeah.
game 4 or game 3.
I always say game 3 be a blowout game in the playoffs.
They got absolutely tore apart out the frame, and it's like the coaches just let them off the hook.
Yeah.
Hey, live to fight another day. We ain't gonna get y'all hurt.
Let's
Let
go
them
win
have
it at
this
home.
Say we low managing.
Yeah.
y'all let him hit that wide open 3.
But the Knicks, y'all see the Knicks, man, they have more success when they sub their players. They let people play. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
the
Tibbs
game-
ain't a substitute. He don't sub though.
But that's his.
That's his
He
problem.
definitely
'Cause
had
what-
to lose his job once they lose this
He
series.
got a is it a 7 or 8 man
They
rotation?
want him to lose it if they win.
Shit, he got a 5-man rotation. They say he wouldn't play 9 men in the baseball game.
Do you think that's the thing? Do you think that's the thing? Do you think he loses his job if they lose this game?
I think so.
I don't think they're gonna get rid of him.
I think he should because man, you got a Chua on the bench. You got some people on the bench who can play. Like, come on, man.
Well, even if you can't, we already made this a couple weeks ago. You got to give rest.
Got to.
You got to get these guys rest.
Especially in this type of playoff environment.
The whole
This-
dang
A
on
high
shot clock.
scoring
The ball
Indiana
sticking.
offense, and you got tired players on
Shit, Indiana be moving.
throwing up shit like that.
Ain't like they just standing around either.
And he's probably throwing up. Josh Hart just airballed bad. He probably airballed because he probably ain't got a whole lot of playing time.
Right.
He doesn't
I'm
have a
glad
rhythm.
You said Josh Hart and bad at the same situation. Josh Hart been playing bad. Get his ass out of there. Like, what the fuck is he doing for 48 minutes?
He's their
He's a
defensive
defensive
guy.
anchor.
Man,
But he's a 3-and-D guy. He can
defensive
shoot
He leads
the
the
3-point
league.
shot.
He leads
ain't
their team in
locking
rebounds.
nobody
Yeah.
down. He ain't locking nobody up on defense. Josh Hart out there,
Josh Hart is-
out there all game.
As he gets
Josh
the and
Hart-
one.
Josh Hart,
As he gets the
he a
and
good asset to their
Man,
team,
he
bro.
ain't need
He
to
get
get-
a lot of good offensive rebounds.
I would
Yeah,
I would
but he
kill to
ain't
have
even
Josh
getting-
Hart back on the Lakers.
Yeah, I'll kill to have him coming off the bench or something, but he don't need to be playing 48 minutes when you got
Yeah,
other
he
people.
play good
No,
defense.
he needs
I
to-
just told
he needs to give you a
get
good
lot of
25.
offensive rebounds.
He needs to give you a good
And what
25.
do you do with him?
They in the East Conference Finals, bro.
Man, I'm just saying Josh Hart ain't a 48
And a lot of
minute
that,
guy.
a lot of those
not playing at the power
offensive
forward
rebounds
position.
is a lot of how Brunson get his points too.
Man, dude.
Do you guys
Josh
want to
Hart.
talk NFL?
You can go ahead and talk NFL. This
Full
Sunday.
schedule has dropped. Anything glaring that you guys?
Shit, the Bears got a hard ass fucking schedule.
I think they said Bears had like the 5th hardest schedule in the league right now. I'm like, damn. I looked at that schedule like that's crazy.
I don't believe that.
And then they got the Cowboys at what 8.5 wins.
I believe that.
They got him at 8.5 wins, man. And they already talking about Dak Prescott is supposed to be better this season. We gonna see.
Not with the janitor coaching. Y'all promoted the janitor. Now y'all talking about somebody supposed to be better.
We gonna see. They are expecting Shador to beat out Dylan Gabriel though.
They got Shador as like the fourth string.
Yeah,
I don't
but
understand.
they expecting him to beat out Dylan Gabriel and possibly the third. But Joe Flacco just said that I'm here to start. I ain't the babysitting no motherfucker. Pretty much. I ain't sitting here mentoring nobody. I'm looking like,
man, fuck Joe Flacco, man. He need to put his ass down back on the couch.
And
what is he doing, man? He only can
he's a winner.
He only give you 3 decent games.
He's a winner.
A win of a quarter, a quarter of a season. That's it.
And
he ain't never been consistent enough to win a half of a year or
so far though, Shador has been the most accurate quarterback in their camp.
Because he is
he's the best quarterback they got in
college.
Right. And I think the Steelers need to go and get off this Aaron Rodgers kick, bro. He ain't said nothing yet.
He in the dark still.
He in the dark.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait.
With Kirk Cousins out there, man, I'm thinking they should just go
get
for Kirk Cousins.
Go get Kirk right now.
Don't go in there with Mason Rudolph.
No.
Do you think the Lions come out as champions in their division next season?
Where the Lions from?
NFC.
Nah, what city?
Detroit.
Okay, you answered your question.
Don't do that.
What are you saying?
What do you mean?
Now here's the question: do you
Like
think
the Tigers always spending billions of dollars and never winning nothing?
Why were they there last year? Great coaching.
Right.
They lost all those coaches.
And then
so
now they only got the ankle biter.
Right.
And then now they trying to figure out is Jaden Daniels gonna have a jump or a slump? They don't know if he gonna have that sophomore slump or he gonna jump and make a bigger leap. But
he was out. Damn.
Jaden Daniels, man.
The 49ers, do you think 49ers come back and take their division?
49ers, it's over for them.
No, man. They got rid of most of all they defensive players, bro.
Debo too sassy.
Debo's gone.
Debo's gone.
Oh, yeah, where he at now?
Commanders. Over there in Washington.
Oh, yeah. They might
okay.
He gonna play half the year.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be decent.
Matter of fact, I think they gave him a new deal too.
I think Debo
So that's gonna
now.
be good for Jaden. Yeah, he is.
He fat now. And
He's
shit.
an Antoine Randall type.
Yeah.
You want to do the guess who?
Oh, okay, for sure.
Is it the one you put in the first?
Yeah, you got to go ahead.
I got it. I hope y'all didn't Google them, but because I didn't look.
I think I knew who it was, but I could stop. Something got in my way. I couldn't remember, but I think I knew who the first one was.
3 MVP awards, 1 NBA championship, 1 Finals MVP, 6 All-Star selections. His career averages are 21.8 points, 10.9 rebounds, 7.2 assists per game, and 745 regular season games.
That's the Joker?
No.
I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon.
Say it again.
Man, I ain't even taking
No,
guess.
no, not 3 MVP.
I ain't taking guess. Well, you put it in, I was like, man, everybody gonna Google this. I was like, it
can't be Giannis.
It's 3 MVPs, one chip, and 1 Finals MVP.
It's the Joker, man. Jason Googled it.
I didn't Google it. I know about sports, nigga.
But here's the giveaway.
For a reason.
The giveaway is a 21
I'm here
and 10.
for a reason.
The giveaway is a 21 and 10, so
10.
you know it's a center.
Yeah.
So you got to think how many centers have 3 MVPs and a chip.
You know what I'm saying? That's
It's
Joker was my
a
first one.
lot of them got 3 MVPs.
A lot of centers
Yeah.
that average 21.
Shaq got 3 MVPs.
But Shaq's got more,
one.
but only with one chip
More
is a
than
thing.
He got like 5 chips.
And
though.
you can't say Tim Duncan.
Or 4.
You
He
can't
got
say
4 chips.
you can't say Tim Duncan. You can't say you could say at the Admiral maybe.
He got 2.
Yeah, see.
2 championships. He and like 1 MVP.
Did he get a chip before Pop?
No.
Both with Pop.
99.
But he got one without Duncan though, right?
Yeah.
No,
No,
Duncan was there in
on that team.
99.
Duncan was on that
Duncan was on that
99-10.
And then
That was his
Oh,
rookie
okay.
year.
Yeah, the Admiral
Yeah.
was the truth, boy.
That was the short season.
Player
David
2,
Robinson.
21 and 1, or excuse me, 21.1 points, 10.6 rebounds, 3 blocks, 987 regular season games, and he's won 2 championships.
The Joker's better. Whoever it is.
You say he won 2 championships?
Then that's got to be Hakeem.
Oh.
No,
Hakeem got an MVP.
Wait, hold up.
This guy got an MVP too, don't he?
21 and 10 and 2 chips.
21 and 10 and
3 blocks and 2 chips.
Yeah, he ain't saying nothing about an MVP or a Finals MVP or nothing.
2 chips.
2 chips.
3 blocks. Ain't too many people average 3 blocks for their career.
You said 21
Right.
and 10?
Yeah, 21 and 10.
2 chips.
2 chips. So it's a center who has 2 championships.
You think it's
It could be Ben Wallace, but he only got 1.
Or is it Moses Malone?
Moses Malone got an MVP.
That ain't Moses.
21 and 10.
Well, for the dead viewership, can you just give it to us?
Hold on.
So we can hit the blank.
Yeah, I mean, y'all just said his name 10 times right before we
Tim
even
Duncan?
started.
Oh, the Admiral.
Duncan.
The Admiral.
The Admiral. Okay, so we go. So I was on the right track. I was on the right track.
About to get it.
Let's say David.
Yeah, so I was on the right track with the first one.
Admiral. The
Yeah.
Admiral. And the Admiral
Joker
ball
better.
the shit out of the Joker. He crazy as hell. The Admiral is Giannis before Giannis. What are you talking about? He'll run the Joker all around.
I mean,
The Joker is
I
only
agree.
good because he playing 6'8" bums right now. Give me some defenders against the Joker.
Do you
Then
think
why was David Robinson?
You
why
think Caruso would have shut the Joker, the Admiral down in the game 7?
The Admiral wasn't even the 5th best center in his
Get
era.
out of here, bro. Whatever.
wasn't.
Whatever.
No, he wasn't.
Whatever, man.
Name 5.
That ain't true.
The Dream.
He's
Patrick
better than
Ewing.
Joker. He's better than Jokic.
No, I said
But I'm
the
just saying,
Admiral.
just keep going.
Alonzo Mourning.
He's
Shaq.
better than
Nah, he
Jokic.
better than Lonzo
Shaq.
Mourning.
Zoe was the
The
nigga, bro.
Admiral
better than
is
Lonzo
better than
Mourning,
Ewing
bro.
and
He's better than Lonzo
Shaq.
Mourning, bro.
he's
I
better
said
than
Shaq. didn't I?
He's better than Lonzo
You said
Mourning,
Shaq,
Shaq,
and he
the
was
Dream.
better than Ewing.
the Dream,
And he better than Ewing.
Patrick
You
Ewing.
gonna wear the Knicks jersey and gonna say Ewing.
bro. Yeah.
Ewing was
ain't even
what?
won nothing. Ewing, come get out. He ain't even the best Knick. Brunson is a
The
better
Admiral
Knick
ain't
than
the best Spur, nigga.
Brunson is the best Knick, better Knick than Ewing.
You wildin' now.
Brunson is a way better Knick than Ewing.
Ewing was tough, bro.
Man, Ewing was decent.
I think this game a wrap, bro.
So we're about to close out, but as we close out, New York Knicks are down 15 going into the fourth quarter.
They better make a run.
We'll see how it comes out. By the time this goes up, the game will be over. It'll be decided. It'll either be a game 7 or it will be the Pacers going to face the OKC
It's the
Thunder.
end for you guys at TNT, man. I know y'all coming over to ESPN.
Yes, sir.
man.
He don't-
Hey,
The greatest sports
He don't like it.
broadcast ever of all
if they
time.
coming over to ESPN, I hope they taking over.
I don't like.
like
He don't like
games.
ESPN. He don't like TNT.
I like
I don't
him,
like
but
TNT.
Charles Barkley never finished his statements.
No, I hate Charles
He
Barkley.
never do. He
You
always
hate
talk
Charles
about something.
Barkley,
hate
Styles
Charles
Barkley.
Barkley.
I hate everything about Charles
So
Barkley.
wait.
He's
We know they
mostly
coming
TNT.
over to ESPN. So what are they supposed to be? Are they supposed to be covering what?
They're gonna change the name and they're
what,
gonna do
what
what they
NBA
do.
TV be covering? I hope so because I can't stand
It's-
Malika Andrews.
it's
Get
gonna be
her ass
the-
off the
It's gonna be the same
Right.
thing as when Letterman went over to CBS.
Let Malika Andrews
It's
do
the same show, just
WNBA
different
or
network.
something.
Thank you.
It's a different name too.
Yeah.
Same show.
Instead of the late show is late night.
Yeah.
And
know,
don't try
same
to
shit.
add Stephen A. Smith as the fourth or fifth
Yeah,
guy.
don't
Let
go
him
ahead.
know.
Don't
That
try to do
motherfucker
that.
go home, man.
Nah,
Hey,
I ain't
give-
saying
they
no,
ass-
no.
Give
They
give
two
John
sep-
Wall
they
give
two
John
separate-
Wall an
yeah.
opportunity.
They
and
two
give
separate entities.
I damn well.
give John Wall an
You keep
opportunity.
talking about John Wall. That's
I'm
because-
telling you, the
Oh,
brother
he
is
need
smart.
to be in the NBA
The
player.
brother is smart.
Right.
John
Commentating.
Wall's still old enough to hoop.
Yeah.
John Wall he's commentating for NBA TV right now.
I like Jalen Rose.
and
on there
also
before him.
give
See, you like just a play-by-play
You know what?
analyst of the
Matter of
like
fact,
breakdown.
I like players who know the game.
But you still got to
You
have
was
Charles
right.
Barkley for the entertainment.
Jalen Rose.
He's not
On the
entertaining,
NBA
though.
TV,
He's
you
too
was right.
entertaining.
What?
Isaiah Thomas.
Man, he was right. I looked at Isaiah Thomas. I'm looking like
Something
damn,
wrong
mama,
with him.
Is you high?
Something wrong with him.
My boy be on like this. Nigga,
Like,
Something wrong with
yo,
him.
Damn, Isaiah.
on NBA TV.
Hey, and before we get up here, hey Zion, whatever the hell you doing, bro?
bro.
Stop,
Bro.
Too
stop,
much pussy out there, man.
stop,
Bro.
Zion.
And that one, the one that
But we
the
knew
one
he
they
had a
saying
pussy problem.
No,
Yeah.
the one that they saying it is, she's nasty.
Nasty.
She's
Nasty in a good way.
No,
She
no.
nasty.
She's nasty.
I like them nasty.
Type of
boys.
nasty.
Wait,
Wait,
hold on. Wait,
Like
she,
the
hey,
nasty.
she,
He like,
hey,
what
she,
type
hey,
of
she
nasty?
nastier than Tenacious, the nastiest.
The nastiest. She
Oh,
is
God
the
damn.
nastiest. She's disgusting. She is a disgusting
look
looking.
ugly?
She does not look like somebody that he should be.
She's nasty.
Boy, so
She
what
probably
happened to
do
the
the
chick he had
two-hand
the baby
tornado
with?
twist.
That I mean, I don't know, but he needs to go somewhere and find a good wholesome woman.
Wait a minute. She's black as tar.
He need to go to church.
You went
Her
from
legs look like baseball
a really good,
bats.
decent chick
And
you
I
had
heard
a baby
she got
with
that nasty
from
woman's disease.
from the porno star Mariah
purple.
Mills to that.
No, it's more. I think it's Mariah Mills. Have you seen her?
She look horrible now.
She's
I heard she got that
brother.
nasty She got that nasty woman's disease.
Because what they say, they got him on rape charges,
Yeah,
abuse, kidnapping. I'm like,
but you know who her lawyer is?
Yeah.
Tony. Tony.
fuck.
Oh, he a clown.
Man.
Tony.
Yeah,
He's just trying to get a settlement.
Yeah, ambulance chasing.
How many court cases can he handle at one time?
I tell you this.
All of them when they keep getting thrown out.
Zion get her vegan ass in his house cooking for him. He be
You
all right.
talking
He be in
about Ali
shape.
LaForce?
Yeah.
Boy,
He be in shape.
You need to stop.
Bones
Boy,
He
you
be in
need to
shape.
stop. No,
all
man.
that vegan shit.
Hey,
bones would be
every
fucked
brother
up.
can't deal with a white girl, man. Every brother can't deal
Yeah,
with
some of us like seasoning. Zion be New
That's what I'm
Orleans.
saying.
Like,
No, I'm
what the
saying
fuck is this?
he needs less seasoning.
Be like, what the fuck?
He needs
He'll
less
quit the
seasoning.
league if she
Like,
was
this
cooking
is-
for
He
him.
be like, she got any Zatarants?
Zion
Yeah,
gonna come
go
back
ahead.
looking like prime LeBron James if he get him a white girl with no seasoning.
it. Like, damn.
He gonna be like
dog.
Julius Randle.
Who down?
That Walker dude.
Oh shit.
All right, cool. Come check us out on all the platforms this week.
Dunk right on him.
Oh,
Step on his head.
Why would he do all
that's
that?
dirty.
Fuck him.
Oh damn.
He keep on
Look
playing.
like he might.
We'll go ahead and get out of here. We appreciate you guys rocking with us. Thank you so much for those who are watching live. Thank you for everybody for participating in the chats. Again, follow us on YouTube. Hit up our Instagram, our TikTok. We're posting clips every single day. That'll be clips up by tomorrow afternoon for this show. Thank you. It was a vibe. It was real. This is the panel. They call me Swill, and we will see you guys very, very soon.
Keep the funny comments coming.
Man.
Yes, sir.
I'll let your boy, Mr. Daddy, serve.